Well, interesting racing is exactly what we are about to experience. They make their way around the last corner before the start-finish straight. We got Sherritt in front, Willifant next to him. Sherritt again, Essa next to him. The lights are about to go out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have green light racing. Off they go, off they go. Sherritt so far on the inside, he's got it. That's Kadile having a look down the outside over there. Somebody comes down the middle. They're 3 abreast so far. So far, so good. They touch ever so slightly. That's Kadile and Janwat tangling it up there. But so far, most of them have gone through safely. Essa does seem to be having a look around the outside there. That is Essa going around the outside of Sherritt over there. Well done to him. Willifant. Oh, wow, he's got second.
Yeah, he's through to second already. And Cody's in wall, so that's a bit of a problem. There's the first outbraking himself. We said it's so easy to do. Cody was very, very cautious through Hell, the corner. He really backed out. He didn't want to go door to door with Zaire Essa, and he's kind of given him that position. But Zaire had great drive and literally drove right past Leslie into Griffin's corner. And it's so easy after 1.1 kilometers straight. Maybe the brakes aren't up to temperature to go and outbrake yourself. But Cody's gone from second down to ninth, sitting behind Jason Webb by making one silly mistake. And we've got an Audi off. I think it's on.
That's the soft
rear end. So action already. But I mean, where he spun it, he's out of the way, so everyone can link their way through. So that's fortunate. Looks like it's only Honor that got tangled in that one. This is why we're under safety car conditions. So this is going through the chase section. Let's see what happens here.
This is what we were seeing in the background.
Yeah, this is our leader. Come across, reconnect someone. Yeah, that's the contact. Where? Oh, there.
Oh no! Oh my goodness me! Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Byron Walker's involved there as well. Oh my goodness! There's Wesley Hampson threads his way through. And there might be more carnage now. Oh my goodness me, that was too close. This is going to bode well for his championship title run as they go through the fastest corner in touring cars.
Jason Webb
having a look down the inside there. Looks like Claessen's runs wide there. Jadwat also. Claessen's back on Webb. Willifant goes wide.
I think Webb's under pressure from Cody Sherritt as well. So a lot of stuff happening there.
Cody goes down the outside there. They touch.
I love it.
Oh my goodness me.
Nothing wrong with that. Door to door. Go right, boys.
And goes into the wall. 13th position for him. And he's got him. Willifant's got him as well.
Yeah, Leslie, look, I didn't think he committed to the corner, but Bash kind of left him space and ran it wide. And Leslie said, thank you very much. So, yeah, that was a bad quarter lap for Bash. Time for him now to regroup. Now he's not chasing Bruno Cadillas or Leslie Oliphant to deal with. But this will be stoked.
Maybe
he'll for Bruno.
Yeah, maybe Bruno Cadilla can now become Leslie Oliphant's problem because Bash clearly wasn't able to get past him. So maybe he's going to say, you know what, maybe you try and go tussle with him a little bit because I do think the Porsches are overall going to catch that Merc. We're seeing it right now. It's getting past. That's a whole other situation. Getting to him is one thing, but getting past him is quite another. Or further down the field, we're looking at more Porsche action here. This is France Albertine. Oh my goodness, lots and lots of action happening here. One of the Porsches pulls alongside there as Brent Lindsay Ray, France Albertine, and Jason Gray make their way through. That's Heineke as well in the mix there. But we're on board with France Albertine now in 17th position.
So, I mean, you can't put the blame on him for tapping someone around when he wasn't at fault at all.
Check Cody into Griffith.
Having a look down the inside there, right up alongside Jadwat there, and gets the move easily done. He's clearly got the pace on Jadwat. It just makes it stick.
He's got the slipstream as well, so that's, I mean, we know that Audi's quick, so he's actually done the right thing. He's been patient, not trying to do stupid moves over the mountain, and rather waited for the right opportunity, get good drive out of that corner, hell corner, always kind of in the top 10. So this is a great...
Patterson has a look. Patterson on the outside now. Claessen down the inside. Claessen might run a little bit wide. Patterson slots in behind him. And look what we have here now. We've got the Ferrari getting involved. Stain gets involved as well. Patterson and Stain, it's a bit too close. Oh my goodness, they touch. Patterson closes the door and Stain collects him. Clem comes through, both of them crashing badly. And
that
oh my
was
goodness
always
me.
going to happen. Taz, we saw the...
Oh no.
I see we've lost Taz. She's gone on to mute. What a sad way for that to end, but we had something so similar.
Less than a minute of racing to go. They're going to start doing their last lap any second now. Oh, the Bentley has a look side by side through the sweep. They're going into the left hand, and now there's a Porsche in the mix there. Oh my goodness, was that the other 80k car there?
Wow.
Oh my goodness me.
So I thought Junior gave him a bit of a nudge because that Bentley started looking very loose in the rear, but Rickard held onto it. So that's 10th place. Good result for the Bentleys. And this is our leader, Jordan, who's coming to get the checker flag now. Time is up. What a flippin' race. What a drive. 17 seconds. That is domination.
Total domination as Jordan Shedder crosses the line first. 17 seconds ahead of the person we thought was the dominator and who has often dominated the season. Zaire Essa is finally looking mortal, and it's nice to see the two of them now going into the next round with a battle on their hands. Both of them capable of winning, convincingly as Cody Shedder starts to apply pressure as they make their way to the finish line. We've got Cody Shedder in 4th place right behind Bruno Cadile. Bruno Cadile in the Merc's got the speed of the straight line though. He's got one more corner to make it though. All he needs to do is finish this section here. Bruno Cadile gets across the line, flashing lights, gets his first podium. Well done. Touches the wall there for good measure, but gets his first podium. Bashir Jadwat makes up the top 5. Quade Claessens behind that. One of my favorite drivers for today, definitely Morne Steyn there in the Ferrari. Well done to him as he comes, Marcus Steyn, so he comes across the line. Brilliant. And Kieran Patterson in 8th position.
What does it take to win? Is it something you're born with? Is it the grind? Every day. Gear up. Do battle. For the 10,000th time. Or is it pushing to your absolute limits? To be faster. Always faster. Insanely precise. Totally free and at one with the game. Or maybe it's just getting to that place where nothing else matters. Nothing in the way of winning.
my zone. Let me into my zone. Let me into my zone. Please don't let me in. Take you down, I'ma say that. Money, me, $2. Telling you now, this payback. So I pay that. Ask him now, what's sage at? I've been going to the top and I got what they not, so I know that they hate that. But I'm on that. All these lanes gonna zone out. And all these lanes gonna tell you what I did, and they twisting their voice till I fall out. But I know that, so I keep what I'm doing cause I own that. And I stay in the lab and I kill everything, but I don't ever move from my Kodak. So I'm finally back in my home. I'm working, I start off, that's why I had me a drum. Dance to my phone, now this nigga dead, that's home. All in, can't beat me up cause I'm back in my zone now. Having a great strap, and almost bagging wheels. Cause I'm back in my zone now. Alright, don't get greedy now, mate. That's good, settle down.
Welcome, folks, to round 10 happening here at Suzuka of the ATK Pro Series Season 2020. And of course, this is brought to you by our partners Kyalami 9 Hour and Motorsport South Africa, and our sponsors AMD, Elgato, and Logitech. We just completed the Pro-Am race, and what a nail-biter that was. Jason Webb taking the win flag to flag, and usually competing in the Pro category. This time takes a win in the Pro-Am category, followed by a well-deserved Corne Strauss in second position. But now it's time for the Pro race, the big boys, the fast guys, the top of the, when it comes to sim racing in South Africa, this is the pick of the bunch. These are some of the best sim racers in the country. And the one of them that is absolutely the best, at least in the championship, is Zahir Essa. And Zahir Essa will be joining one of our other partners that we're partnering with for today, Mobile. Joining today, we are joining Mobile today to, they're going to be running the delivery on the Essa car. And of course, Essa is in line to win the championship. Now, someone that thinks that he's already wrapped that championship up is my commentator in the box, in the virtual box here with me, Marius Roberts. You think Essa's got this one in the bag already?
Yeah, it's done. I mean, let's be honest, he literally has to do nothing but circulate today to kind of wrap it all up. Bashir Jadwat obviously has an outside chance, mathematically anyway, but we've never had any issues technically for Zahir Essa. And when I say technically, I mean, if this was a normal race in the real world, there could be a mechanical failure, those type of things. It doesn't obviously happen in the virtual world, but we've had load shedding, we've had people having internet dropouts, those type of things do happen, but Zahir hasn't had that happen in 9 previous rounds, and he's been a dominant force. So I expect to see him probably in the top 3 like he always is, and that's going to wrap up the championship. Yes, we'd love to have it go down to the final round at Kyalami. Obviously, Kyalami as one of our series sponsors, the 9 Hour. It would be awesome if we could, but at the end of the day, we mentioned this in the Pro-Am build-up, the real racing for the championship for me is for second and third, and we've seen that building nicely, and now we're getting to round 10. It's going to be pressure for those drivers, for Morgan McCall and for Bruno Kadile, who are like 3 points in it. So really looking forward to seeing what happens at Suzuka. It's a tricky circuit. I know Tasman is with us. We can talk about how challenging it is, a track. A difficult track for overtaking too, because it is fast and flowing. In 2 weeks' time, we find ourselves at Spa again, very, very similar. These are driver circuits, but the drivers are going to have to be patient today because there are not very many overtaking opportunities, Ernest. And like we saw in the Pro-Am race, cars work differently at different parts of the track. And that's what makes it so interesting to spectate, to commentate, but frustrating for the drivers.
Oh, so frustrating for the drivers. We saw the race before this, the battle for second and third place, and that went on for quite a few laps. It was exciting to watch for us, but can you imagine the pressure cooker of an environment for these drivers? Someone that's going to be managing his own pressure cooker today is our man and our steward, Mr. Jonathan Benz. He's going to be wagging the proverbial finger at the guys today. Jonathan, what are you expecting to see on the circuit, and where are you expecting to see it?
I'm not expecting much action in turn 1. I think that it's, I mean, we saw it in Pro-Am, and I was thankfully right at that point that we wouldn't have much turn 1 disasters happening there. So I don't think we're going to see much turn 1 action on lap 1. I do suspect we're going to see the safety car in this round, though. There's a lot more drivers, and there's a lot more, shall we say, heated heads.
Yeah.
And, guys ready to, put it on the line for that extra position. So,
well, as you can see, there are 30 guys here vying for position. Starting at the top there, we got Zahir Essa, Jordan Sherrod, Leslie Oliphant, Bashir Jadwat, Junior McCall. Now, Bruno Cadile, the man in 6th place, I think is one of the guys to watch out for. He's in line for that 3rd place in the championship. And I'll be keen to see what he can pull off today, because the circuit does suit the Mercedes-Benz. There will, of course, be a slew of Porsches up front, because, as you say, Jonathan, a lot of the fast guys do drive Porsches in the series.
Yeah, and it's good to see the likes of Sherrod bringing up the Audi and Cadile bringing up the Merc. And I suspect that if we had seen some of the drivers like Essa, Jadwat in McLarens and stuff, we'd probably see them up at the top there as well, because there is that talent aspect that adds into it. Now, when the talented guys choose the Porsche, which is an all-round good car, it becomes what it is, and it's not the end of the world. The cream generally rises to the top. So I think it would just be nice to see that variation of performance based on talent as well as machinery. So yeah, it's been great to see Sherrod and Cadile and Webb, all up top there.
Well, someone that has bubbled to the top is Jordan Sherrod, and we go to the standings. He's fighting his way through those standings. He's currently in 9th position, but he should really, by any indication, be further up there just based on his previous performances. I'm sure next season he'll be in it with a shot. But Zahir Essa, the man who's pretty much got it wrapped up today, he's got to finish below 15th, and Bashir Jadwat has to win this one for there to be any sort of mathematical chance of Zahir Essa not winning this championship today. He, of course,
it's not going to happen, eh?
Not going to happen.
What I'm hoping
But only if he doesn't finish this today, it's only going to benefit him anyways. He's going to be dropping a 0-pointer instead of a 1st or 2nd place. So
Yeah.
I mean, all it's doing is taking it to the next round. But I'm also hoping for the commentator's curse here. Sorry, Zahir, but I mean, never going to happen, because then it usually does happen. But but you're right. I mean, us talking about Jordan Sherrod down in 9th, we know he's had plenty of nightmares technically, which is why he's down there. But he won 2 weeks ago at Bathurst. He actually won yesterday at Suzuka in the 10-hour race, joining up on another race platform. So listen, he knows his way around this track. So I think he's going to be racy and looking to go back to back. Even though he's out of the championship fight, it's about personal pride, and it's about obviously racking up some points. And he'll know, listen, when my rig works and my internet works, I win. And that's cool confidence to take into the next season, where it's going to be bigger, better racing as well. But what a fantastic lineup of drivers, and I'm looking forward to a cracking race. Suzuka, man, this ain't an easy track.
No, it ain't. And as you say, I think that Sherrod is really going to take the fight to Essa and Jadwat, and I'm hoping to see a top 3 battle take place. We've never really seen the fastest 3 guys, and we can all agree that Essa, Jadwat, and Sherrod are those 3 guys at the moment. Those 3 guys battling it out start to finish. I'd really like to see something like that happen before the season ends, and maybe today is the day that we see it. As far as the seedings go, the guys lay down their fastest times, but anything can happen. There was nothing in between Essa and Sherrod, and Jadwat was also right in there. But again, the man that might just throw the cat in between the Porsche pigeons is Bruno Cadile.
Yeah, you know what? It's very difficult for us to comment. I know Jason won the Pro-Am race, but as in our interview with him, we saw him doing it. He was pace managing because he didn't need to do anything stupid. So we don't actually know the ultimate pace. But I mean, that's a battle I'm talking about for overall 3rd place in the championship. There's nothing between Morgan and Bruno. And just before we go to ad break, I mean, another guy I want to shout out. I mean, Bruno, brilliant, because he's in the car that none of the top guys have wanted to pick. We know it isn't a car that is benefited by balance of performance at all the circuits. So that's brilliant to be sitting in 4th. But so is Marcus Steyn in that Ferrari in 6th. I mentioned it in the build-up to Pro-Am. That is fantastic. 6th place overall in a Ferrari. Have a look down. The next Ferrari is Byron Walker in 25th. That's
Indeed.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable stuff there from Steyn, but we'll be hearing more about those drivers and more right after these breaks. Stay tuned. and you join us now at the ATK Pro Series. This is the premier division of sim racing, and this, of course, the pro division as we go on board with Grobler in the Mercedes-Benz. I spoke to him yesterday. He did so well in seeding. He said he might be having to work today. Clearly, he's made another plan, and that plan is to be on track here at Suzuka for the ATK Pro Series. JC Grobler in that Mercedes, and we were just saying earlier on how these Mercedes are tipped to be relatively quick on the circuit. The circuit's long, it's got very long straights, and the Merc does really, really well on these long straights. The drivers of the Mercs are saying that they can set these cars up to work on the fast bits and the tight stuff. So I think that's definitely going to be something to watch out for. The man of the moment, though, is Zahir Essa on his way to clinch the championship in the Mobile One Porsche over there. And just look at that car in those classic Mobile One colors.
Yeah, it looks really
good.
Cool. So I mean, the timing having Mobile joining us for this race is perfect because, as we know, he's more than likely going to be crowned champion of the ATK Pro Series for 2020. So, yeah, very, very nice. And good to see guys and brands realizing the marketability of a series like this and the unique platform. He has a 50-minute race. The guy's going to be running at the front. People are going to be seeing your branding for literally 50 minutes of a race. So yeah, very, very nice to have Mobile joining us for this race as well. Very, very cool.
I must say that's definitely a big moment for sim racing in South Africa to have a car branded like this. And you know how these iconic looking cars, I mean, from all the various brands over the years, it sears into the minds of enthusiasts. And I mean, this car just looks fantastic.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of those brands went up in smoke. cigarette bans. Hey, but look, we could have a new generation in South Africa. Let's find JFK cars, because I mean that seemed to be what everyone was smoking when we were trying to buy cigarettes legally. But yeah, anyway, let's talk serious now. Let's not muck around. This is going to be a very interesting qualifying for me because I know that Zaire came in very, very fast in the seeding runs, but like I said, Jordan's going to put it on pole. That's my prediction, and I think this is also a race that he's going to win. I'm being very, very bold and putting things out there. I am looking forward to seeing Richard van Coller go in that Bentley because we saw the Bentley seem to run really well with Jason Isherwood in the race earlier. So nice to see a different car getting mixed up there as well. Yeah. I am looking for guys to kind of rattle the Porsche cages. For us as commentators, it's been a fantastic race season watching Zaire Essa do what he does so well. But yeah, there's so many other guys that have come up throughout the season and become quicker and quicker. Junior McCall had a great seeding run yesterday. The Oak's 12 years old, and he's smashing it and started in the Pro-Ams, worked his way up, got himself a wheel so him and his brother can race together because that was their limiting factor. And it's taken him a couple of rounds to find his feet in pros because you can be winning Pro-Ams, but you find yourself mid-pack when you get into the Pro class, and that's where all the action and chaos usually happens. So I'm hoping that Junior has a great qualifying year so he can be sitting like maybe in the top 6, which will give him a clear run into turn 1. Jonathan sees no chaos at turn 1. Yeah, I know we only had 12 or 13 cars running in Pro-Am. We've got 30 cars running here. I think there's going to be chaos into turn 1.
Oh, we'll have to see about that because certainly that could be on the cards because these guys are quick. All of them are fast. We just saw Sherrod do a 158.5 now. Wow. I mean, that's a scarcely believable time. Behind him is Zahir. It's a 0.6 of a second, but Zahir looks like he's just getting into a rhythm.
Ernest, hang on. I'm just thinking here now. Our pole sitter, Jason Webb, who normally races pros, did a 2-minute dead. So he did 2.5 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a 2-second gap.
2 seconds off the pace of Jordan. So I'm quite keen to see. I mean, that's mad because, I mean, now Jason would have been top 10 with that lap time. Yeah. I'm sure the guy's going to get quicker and quicker, but that is a proper benchmark time set early on by Jordan. We've seen him do this before, sets the lap time, then he goes and parks off and has a coffee while everyone else tries to match him. So, like I said to you, he spent as part of a 4-driver team doing the 10-hour Suzuka now on the weekend, so he knows this track well, and that shows. He's literally gone out with no time, qualifying just starting, and slammed it.
Unbelievable stuff in classic Jordan Sherrod style. He set a benchmark lap time with Essa right behind him, 0.6 of a second. We are now on board with Sherrod as he goes into the sensational 130R corner, the fast left-hander now, top of 6th gear, slams it in to that left-hander there, runs a little bit wide there, but still maintains This is going to be another sensational lap from Shedid, I'm sure. Jordan Shedid looking fantastic this season and just improving over the season, really. As he makes his way down to the finish line.
He's also running...
Improves his time.
Wow, man, that's bad.
Unbelievable stuff there from Shedid.
He's also running new livery. Have a look at that. So he's now down. It's 0.7 the gap. So he's gone from a 58.5 to a 58.38. I mean, listen, that was cracker through 130R as well. I mean, obviously at 130R, not really 130 anymore because obviously the R is for the radius of the circuit.
Yeah.
Part of the track was changed. I think back 2002, Alan McNish had a massive smash there.
I remember that incident.
Yeah, it's actually now got like 2 apexes on that corner. So
it was a big accident, but he was actually okay.
Yeah,
but because it was a scary looking accident, they were like, no, we're changing this right now.
But have a look. I mean, guys did it this weekend in MotoGP. I mean, last weekend, if you watched, I mean, that was nearly the end of the Doctor and Maverick Vinales. And what they've ended up doing was just extending the air blanket now. So that can't happen into that turn. So it's work in progress always. And circuits like that, they do go and make changes because that is a critical corner. It's high speed and things can go wrong. And that's what I love about Suzuka because it's still very much, I mean, we keep talking about Bathurst, we keep talking about Neuschleifer, where it's definitely narrow, it's tunnel vision. Kyalami's got that feeling as well. When you come out, what is he doing? Stopping there.
Oh.
Bizarre. I mean, on the racing line, huh? Anyway, it's got that tunnel vision at Kyalami too, where you're kind of going through Sunset into Clubhouse. And that's what I love about these circuits because they require the ultimate concentration. One little mistake and there's no runoff. There's grass and then there's barriers. So it usually ends in tears.
Well, as we talk about not ending, hopefully no tears for Wesley Hampson here as he goes through the S's now. Wesley Hampson in that fantastic looking Lexus over here. He says the circuit does suit the car. The one section by the hairpin, he says the car bogs a little bit there in first gear. That's just characteristic of the specific vehicle. But other than that, he said the circuit is very well suited because of the high top speed of the Lexus. So let's see how he does. I'm sure he's hoping for a top 10. Someone that was just hoping to be at the bottom of Pro, now sometimes mixing it up a little bit further up. So Wesley Hampson really improving and his channel improving with him. That's, of course, his Twitch channel. Wezzer is his name. He's got one of the biggest Twitch channels on the internet. Wezzer, go check him out. But the person that I'm hoping to see make big waves, Junior McCall, pulling into the pits there, he's just 12 years old. 12 years old.
It's crazy, man. And you know the whole idea with this with simulator with sim racing is that you know guys from here can find their way into real racing, and the real racing drivers are using this to stay sharp because it's become so realistic. So a guy like Junior, I mean, wonderful opportunities for him down the line to maybe find his way into karting. Wow, proper sideways sliding. I think there was Quade Claasson's one of the ATK cars in the back. I think there was him. For him to find his way into karting, maybe into something like Polo Cup. You know, we talk serious money to go actual racing. But let's be honest, we're talking serious money now with what guys are spending on their rig setup. You know, we joked about it in Pro-Am saying, wouldn't it be cool if they started doing like a production class rig that you could compete here? So guys aren't sitting with flipping, I don't know, pedal boxes and everything else that they've got, because there is a rig and there is a rig. You know,
yeah, there's definitely a difference. I actually wrote an article about it this week for Cars That's Here at Zera. It should be landing this week, about how this could be, sim racing could be the new karting. It's the new entry-level motorsport where for between, let's say, 7,000 and 150,000, you could get into a season, or not a season, actually, an unlimited season of racing. Yeah. And instead of spending 100,000 to $1 million on karting. So I definitely think the COVID pandemic and the quarantine has kick-started the sim phenomenon, and we are right bang in the middle of it here at the ATK Pro Series.
Yeah, you know what the thing is? I mean, karting's become ludicrous. I mean, all they need to do with karting is just regulate engine changes and tires, because that's the thing. The guys, if you restrict that and everyone's running the same stuff, you can bring the cost down. And that's where they've gone and mucked up karting in South Africa, is that it's become that. Guys are throwing checkbooks at it. But the thing for me is, as great as sim racing is, all that bums in seats that karting gives you, that simulator rating, as great as it is, you're always going to struggle in that environment. So this, for me, it's come a long way, and it's fantastic racing to watch. But I think it's more a case of, from this still moving into
Yes.
real
Yes.
real racing and keep
100%.
yourself sharp in this environment, because I just
100%.
want to see more guys that are superstars online becoming superstars on the line. And that would be the ultimate for us, you know.
Well, your boy Abshmay over here just popped into 5th position. There's Zahir Issa in 3rd. Bashir Jadwat now in 2nd position. But Sherit now currently in a class of his own, 0.6 of a second clear in 1st position. Leslie Oliphant there in the pits at the moment, 4th position. And we've now got eyes on the Mobile 1 Porsche. Going into the left-handers there, looking very slick. Behind the wheel there is Zahir Issa in 3rd position at the moment, and we'll have a look and see how far he is on the deltas here. Zahir,
I love the fact that Bash has gone and pipped Zahir at this stage with 8 minutes to go, because that for me, I mean, he is 2nd in the championship. Yeah, we know that it's kind of done and dusted literally, but there's a mathematical chance for Bashir to do this. So what do you need to do as Bashir? You need to out-qualify Zahir. You need to say, right, dude, I'm here. I know you're probably going to win this, but I'm not going to make it easy for you. And that for me is cracker. So hopefully
S is up big time, eh? S is up a lot. He's up 0.6 of a second, 0.6 of a second up at the moment. And I think he shakes things up. He shakes things up and goes just 1/10 off of Sherit. So there you go, Marius. It's on now.
Yeah, but you see now the cool thing, Jordan's probably just put his coffee down. He's just swallowing his rusk, and he's going to say, do I go out? That is the cool thing about simulator racing is it's not like in the real world where you've got this whole build-up. Yeah, he's got to go and build up his lap time now. But you know, your quick path back to the pits is an eject button. So we're probably going to see Jordan go out and have another run at it. Or not. How confident is he? But 0.1 is nothing, and that's pretty much the gap that they had the other way around in seeding. I think it was just under 0.1 with Zaire the fastest. So this is very interesting. Cool to see if he goes out again. I'm loving all the liveries. I mean, lower Porsche, beautiful. I mean, that is legitimate. We see them running in the Intercontinental GT Challenge. The Row Porsche looks amazing. I'm loving all the liveries that are starting to come. Even Jordan Sherritt's Audi looked different. So we know we've been talking about Mobile joining us for this race and going with the champion incumbent, but this is cool to see like real racing coming to our car simulator style as well. I love it.
Perfect stuff. Yes, as we get on board with Benjamin Lodge, we just left him now. Craig Ecout here in the Audi, going into the right hand of the first corner over here. And geez, what a corner this is. And you were saying we might see some incidents there. It really is quite a tricky section. Flat out, 6th gear, bang at the right, kind of maintain the speed and then hard on the brakes for the right hand.
Look, I mean, I know we're struggling with connectivity with Tasman. It would have been nice to have her opinion on here. But I mean, we did a lot of racing on the previous layout of Kyalami, and I told you in Pro-Am, that turn 1 reminds me a bit of Nashua 1-2 at Kyalami onto the old start-finish straight. Obviously, that was going left, but it's full committed, running in. The car is going right, but you've got to turn left and you've got to still get it stopped. And that's kind of what happens here into turn 1. You've got that little turn in. The car's running far to the left-hand side of the track. You're trying to brake it and you're trying to turn it to the right. So there's a lot that goes on there. And I think because we've got quite a long run into turn 1, I mean, we've seen in Formula 1, I mean, Senna, that classic scene where he just said, listen, dude, I'm taking you out here through turn 1. So it is that type of corner. And I think, yeah, we've got 30 Oaks that are the best sim racers in the country, hungry. I know it's a 50-minute race, but, oh, man, once the lights go out, the guys are going to try and make as many opportunities early on in the race. And that's why I think it's easy to fall over each other there.
Fall over each other indeed, and hopefully we don't be seeing a lot of that as we go on board with Leslie Oliphant now currently in 4th position. He's got no one to fall over right now, currently alone on the circuit as he goes through the spoon curve, so named because it's shaped like a bit of a spoon as he goes onto the back straight now for the very, very fast section.
I reckon that for me, we mentioned earlier too, that for me is probably the most the trickiest part of the circuit actually is that spoon curve, because it's so difficult to run it in, because again, you've got to let the car run out wide, you've got to let inertia do its thing. Oh, proper power slide from Leslie going through there as well. But it's such a tricky corner because you go in early, you let it run out wide, then you turn it in early again. And obviously, critical here is your exit is crucial because you're heading down that section where you cross over the track in the figure of 8 and then head into 130R. So if you don't have good drive out of there, you're under pressure the whole way through that. And obviously for the chicane at the end of the heavy braking section. So, yeah, tough. But like we said, Jordan probably was going to put his coffee down and come out and smash another lap. He's done that. So it looks like he's gone quicker as well. I mean, I love this one. That is just like, you guys go and have some fun. I'm just going to chill in the back, and then I'm going to just make it quite clear that I'm the dominant force here today.
Well,
me to lead in pole.
currently, he's dominating by about 1/10 of a second, but that might be extended. It's not going to be by much, though. He lost out a little bit on that last section there, but he's definitely going to go ever so slightly faster. As we say, this is quite a long pit straight before they hit the finish line. Bang, over the finish line he goes, drops it down to a 1:58.320, up 0.2 of a second now on Zahir Issa, and suddenly that time gets a little bit further out of reach. Or is it? He's got 3 minutes left, does Zahir Issa. We go on board with Leslie Oliphant now. Leslie Oliphant in 4th position.
I'm sticking my neck out still. I said he'll be on pole and he'll win the race. So I'm staying with that.
Leslie Oliphant also quite a fair bit up on his sector time. If he sticks within the zone that he's in now, he could leapfrog Bashir Jadwat into 3rd position. And he's going to love the prospect of doing that. He lost out a little bit there on that exit as he makes his way down the very long back straight. They want to get as close as possible to the track edge here and then bang it into 130R.
Ernest, I wonder if Jordan and Zeres haven't been chatting. You know, we could have that replica of the Senna incident where Walter said to him, you know what, I'm going to put Zaire next to you and you just take him out into if we don't have 6 or 7 cars involved and it's a proper racing incident, they won't pull out the safety car. You know,
Leslie,
just talking. Conspiracy theories.
Let's see. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I love a little bit of drama myself. I'm not going to lie. So let's see what happens today as Oliphant poops Jadwat for
good.
3rd position.
That's a cracker lap. 2 minutes to go. So we might still see some movement. I mean, Jason Upsmeyer, we haven't seen too much of him recently. He was like one of the guys who was really out in top 5 every single race. Had a bit of a slump mid-season. I know he had a load shedding race that he missed, and then a couple of technical issues with the wheel as well. So also not really where he should be, but nice to see him back on track. Junior McCall in the top 10. I think this is probably his best qualifying run. Charles Wilkin, another super experienced real racing driver that's had a bit of a quiet phase. I mean, he came in guns blazing and looked like he was going to be lighting up our ATK Pro Series, but been a bit quiet recently. Found it hard to move up from the top 10 positions, but he's there at the moment in the top 10.
Zahir Issa going a little bit faster, but just not fast enough. He's currently up by 0.04 of a second as he crosses the line there. Gets closer. So this is his last chance now. This is his last chance to get this lap. He is going to be giving it all he has to try and get that pole position. Runs very wide. They're still on pace for his own time. Zahir's got one chance now before the flag drops down. Still on the pace at the moment.
It's what I love. You know, it's what I love about Sarah. He's like the consummate professional. Like, it's not good enough just going, it's fine, I'll go second. He wants to win. And that is why he is winning. And that is why he's leading the championship, because that's his attitude. He's not happy just to say, that's good enough for a 50-minute race. I'm going to wrap up the championship. He wants to win everything. Yeah. So I really do. I love that. I love that committed attitude. And that's why he's going to be a worthy champion for this, for our first series, for sure.
Well, absolute commitment through that corner over there. Zahir Issa takes it wide, tucks it in here through the hairpin section now. He's currently just about 0.2 of a second down on his personal best. So far not looking very good for him to snatch this.
It looked like he lost it through Degner. He ran a bit wide on that on the turn in, and that affected his drive out of that. It just like, but again, these are little mistakes. It's like, oh, and there we go. He's obviously bailed there. So looked at his lap delta and went, yeah, not quick enough. Now, if I was Jordan, I would just hit the eject button here as well. He doesn't need to do anything more. Doesn't need to go any faster. But that's also the cool thing with simulator racing. Like in the real race, his team would be telling him now, don't risk anything, don't bin the car for the race.
Exactly.
Here in this, there's no risk of that. So the guys can have a full attack mode. So those are one of the things I would like to see changing for next season, is that qualifying is run like it is in real racing, a proper qualifying session. And if you do crash in qualifying, you've got to repair it in the time before the race starts, and that you can't just eject. You've got to cool down, go back to the pits in a normal fashion, because that'll change the mentality of the drivers in qualifying big time.
Well, Sherrod currently running exactly the same time. He's got no reason to be out there. The only person posing a potential threat now is Bashir Jadwat, with the other two third and second position having pitted. So Jordan Sherrod basically on a processional lap here, but still managing to match his best time at the moment of a 158.320. A frankly fantastic time for the circuit, and he does not seem to be placing a tire wrong at the moment, is Jordan Sherrod, as he makes his way now into the final section over here. The Casio section goes up a little bit, but has a bit of a tail wag there. So pretty much the same time for Jordan Sherrod as he crosses the line, but that does mean he gets pole position. Jordan Sherrod gets pole, Essa in second, and Leslie Oliphant third. Bashir Jadwat in the background there, about to cross the line. Let's see where he ends up. Bashir Jadwat gets across the line, stays fourth, and that's it from us for now. We'll see you guys after this break. You can feel the tension coming off the tarmac as the Audi of Jordan Sherrod lines up next to the Mobile One Porsche of Zahir Essa, both of them on the front row of the grid, followed by Leslie Oliphant in the next Porsche and Bashir Jadwat right next to him, also in a Porsche. These guys will be battling it out for that first corner, and I'm hoping that they can keep it clean for that first corner, because this is one of those circuits, as you said earlier on, Marius, whoever gets in front is more than likely going to stay in front for a little bit. So this first corner is going to be absolutely critical.
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys realize that it's a great circuit, but it's a very difficult circuit to overtake because of the fast-flowing nature of the corners. We know if you want to overtake, you've got to have people coming fast and then stopping to a dead stop, and that's where the speed differential kicks into. But here, it really is getting a rhythm, getting creating pressure. And I think the overtake moves end up coming from people making mistakes. But I'm just looking at our qualifying. We didn't speak about it, but like we mentioned, Junior McCall there is pipping his brother Morgan. I remember Morgan is sitting in third position in the championship. So he's going to be looking and going, hey, Bruno Cadile, who's just behind me in the championship, has qualified in fifth. Great qualifying again with that Merc. So Morgan's going to start feeling pressure. And this is what happens as you come to the end of a season. 12 rounds, wrapping it up at Kyalami, next rounds at Spa. Yeah, you come to Suzuka and you start having mental games like that. He's going to be calculating things like that. So interesting to see those little battles unfolding. I'm looking forward to this race. I think it's going to be action into turn one. Oh, could we see a safety car? I know ATK boss Warren is under real pressure. He's driving the safety car. So he's going to be hoping, hell no, let it not happen. But if there are any incidents, that's what I love. I mean, we're looking to improve the series as much as possible. I know there was like a few people up in arms about, safety car and what do you need it for? But it worked a charm 2 weeks ago in Bathurst.
Yes.
Because a lot of guys, it was a silly mistake that ended up taking out 7 competitors. And those competitors ended up under safety car being able to repair their cars and ended up scoring points. And that is, for me, about finding ways to make the series even better. So I think 2021 is going to be an absolute cracker because this season has been incredible. Some amazing racing. And I think we're going to be treated to it because the guys lined up here literally are the top 30 sim racers in the country.
And just look at that picture there as the Audi pulls away. The Mobil 1 Porsche gets going as well. This is the ATK Pro Series 2020. Of course, brought to you by Elgato. We've got AMD on board as well. And of course, we've got Logitech. And that's exactly what our pace car is using today. Our pace car is using a Logitech G29. And that is Warren from ATK. Hopefully not going to be working too hard today. Hopefully not after that first corner either. We've got...
Has he not got back onto the main rig now that Jason...
No, Jason. I wonder if that's the case. Jason might still be hijacking the main rig, I'm sure, because I tell you, that thing's so fun. The direct drive is so fun.
I'm surprised Jason hasn't offered to be the safety car driver.
He's going to try and race these guys with a GT4 car, though.
I promise you'll find a safety car going very sideways. I mean, the drivers are under strict instructions in real racing, the safety car drivers. They have to look safe. So they've got to be quick in Formula 1. I mean, they're driving it like 9/10. They're not allowed to get rapid because then it doesn't look like it's a safety car. But I know Jason Webb, our drift champion, was in that car. We'd be getting some upside.
Yeah, we've all seen the footage of the Audi getting sideways at Le Mans a couple of years ago. I mean, what a slide that was through the, I think it was Dunlop curve. It could have been, it was one of the Porsche curves. There we go. And wow, man, I thought that guy knows exactly what he's doing. A cool move, but not something we want to see today, Warren. So
I think that was a marketing strategy. If you're going to want to get some showtime in a competitive brand, get your Audi sideways through the Porsche curves, and people start remembering it as an Audi curve. So it was pretty clever.
Yeah, indeed. As they now come through the hairpin curve, now up the hill, and this is where the rear engine cars really have quite an advantage after those tight corners there. The car kind of squats down and the power gets forced through those rear wheels. And the Audis and the Porsches really do quite well to come out of those tight corners like that. Where the Mercedes then gets the advantage is on the long straights. The Audis and at least the Porsches go into top of sixth gear, whereas the Mercedes is still accelerating hard at the end of that straight. So there's a definite advantage at the end of the straights, and Bruno Cadile is going to want to take advantage of that over the Porsches.
Yeah, what was interesting was in that Pro-Am race, you see how quick the Audi was in a straight line. We had that clear example where it was out dragging the Bentley, so we know the Porsches, I mean the Audis are pretty quick as well. But the thing for me with these straights, I know they are long, but it's the entry to them that's crucial. I think about the chicane, or think about coming out of Spoon Curve onto the straight. So they're not your traditional around the corner, here is a long straight like Paul Ricard. So I don't think that straight line speed advantage is as evident as at a circuit like Paul Ricard or Monza. I think there's a lot more other stuff that's more important at Suzuka in terms of getting the ultimate fast car around here. And I know Zara said the Porsches, they always struggle everywhere apparently, yet there's some always seem to keep winning. But I think the Audi is going to be a cracker, and I think what Bruno's done in the Merc is really impressive in fifth.
Unbelievable stuff in that Audi and unbelievable stuff in fifth there by Cadile. Bruno Cadile, for me, could be the man that steals the moment here today. All eyes on him at the moment, being the only man to fly the Mercedes flag. Jason Webb, of course, winning the Pro-Am category, but not here, bringing up 6th or 7th position. He's usually somewhere around there in that Merc. Bruno Cadile, though, somehow managing to get into 5th place with that Mercedes as they make their way now for the first official time down the straight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go racing. This is going to be some exciting stuff as Bruno Cadile lines up in 5th place. We're on board with Leslie Oliphant in 3rd, Zahir Essa in 2nd, Jordan Sherritt, the man of the moment, in 1st. The Mobile 1 car next to him. The circuit has got a very long straight, and the lights go green. Jordan Sherritt in the lead by a long gap. Zahir Essa slots in behind. Leslie Oliphant having a look down the inside. Cadile also having a look. There's a little bit of action further back. No one's touching just yet. They go through the first corner safely. All 5 guys, make it through.
No, there's chaos.
There's some cars off the back.
Massive pile-up. I think Warren's going to be called in here, safety car. Lots of cars going horribly sideways through there. But how good was Jordan Sherritt on that start? He literally sealed that off, crossed the line, across the nose of Zahir Essa, telling you, dude, you are in 2nd. I've got this done. And that was fantastic driving. But good to see Bash is all over the back of Leslie Oliphant, and then a little bit of a gap further back to Bruno Cadile and the Merc. But our top guys are through. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen and who was affected in that first corner incident. Yeah, it's just 30 fast guys all trying to squeeze into that corner. Very, very tricky, and the guys are going in there side by side, so very easy to get a little tap, get the car rotated, and you're going to get clattered by a lot of guys behind you, and that's exactly what happened. It was a green Porsche that spun. Not too sure.
There were Patterson, Walker got involved there as well, Smith as well. Not too much chaos there. The guys did run quite a bit wide, but I think a lot of them managed to get back onto the circuit. Patterson, unfortunately, looks like he's the one that come off the worst from that incident. Unfortunate, but at least most of the cars are wheels down at the moment.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, my predictions are right so far. Qualifying, I said he'd win. I said there'd be an incident in turn 1. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's see if Jordan can keep it going and make it 3 out of 3 for me. I'll be super, super stoked. But look at the gap he's pulled already. I mean, yes, I know. I said to you guys, he was part of a winning team that did the Suzuka 10-hour now over the weekend. So Jordan knows this track. He's had lots of seat time, and not just simulated runs. He's had race craft practice. It's a very, very different environment. So I think he's going to be pretty much untouchable here today. But the battles for me, I'm having a look. Morgan McCall got the jump on Junior, so that's great. Done. But he's still somewhere off of Bruno Cadile. So
Bruno Cadile just got past Bashir Jadwat by the looks of things. Bruno Cadile just slotted straight past him on the straight. Bashir not wanting to give that up, though. Bashir going alongside now.
But I think that Merck's fast in that straight line.
Yeah. He managed to pick him off, and Bashir Jadwat is not known for making mistakes on corner exit. So that was an incredible move there from Bruno Cadile, now currently in 4th position.
And Arno Fasaki in the other Audi as well, also looking really, really good. Jason Upschmeyer is in the middle of that little battle all over the back of Bruno at the moment. But it's quite interesting because when you start doing that's Bash all over the back. And when you start doing the calculations, I think Morgan was 3 points ahead of Bruno going into this round. But I mean, I think if Bruno finishes where he is now, I think he's going to end up being even Stevens, I think, at that point. Oh, things are hotting up.
Things are hot, yeah.
Arno looking like he's having a time on the inside.
Fasaki touches Abschmeyer there in the background. Abschmeyer manages to hold on, but it looks like somebody else is getting involved there. McCall getting involved as well.
Yeah, he's given up that position. So I think he's gone and said, listen, sorry, I went in a bit hot. I tapped you. I'm giving that position back, which is great to see. But it's obviously ended up costing him another position. Morgan obviously came through in that as well. But that's good to see. It's so easy under braking to give the guy the gentlest of taps. But that's what we like to see, the drivers going, listen, sorry, my mistake. There's the position back. And then our stewards don't have to sit and deal with it because no harm, no foul. It's racing. Those things happen.
Yeah, Arno Fasaki, definitely one of the guys that has improved significantly over the season. Really starting to get to grips with that Audi now and frequently mixing it up with the top 10 guys. This time in 8th position, now giving McCall a bit of a hard time. That's Morgan McCall, the older of the two brothers. The other McCall brother there at the back runs wide. That was Junior McCall there running wide.
Outbraked himself completely. Did the right thing just to pull it straight, because I think had he have tried to turn in there, he would have lost the rear end of that car. Came in way too hot. under braking into the Castillo chicane. So, well done there. That's dropped him further back. But like we said, he's 12 years old. What a learning curve. Dominating in Pro-Ams and finally finding his way into the pros when he got his own steering setup. So brilliant to have a 12-year-old. I mean, these are the future superstars that we're looking at.
Indeed.
Having a look at the Lexus, nice little battle here. Hampson and King, the two Lexus, doing actually really well. And the car, apparently such a nice car to drive, very well balanced. But we saw at Paul Ricard, it had no top end. So that's the only thing that I worry about here, because obviously you need a bit of grunt in the straight line. But Bernard put a lot of pressure on Chris Heineke and the Porsche just behind him. Jason Gray's made up a lot of positions in the Audi in 16th. I think he was down in like 23rd maybe from qualifying. So he obviously scored in that first corner incident. But good racing throughout. Wow.
So far, so good. And I mean, these guys are really giving it to each other and applying pressure. It's all about a pressure application here, because as we said earlier on, the circuit doesn't leave a lot of space to overtake. But the guys are now starting to pick the pace. So Versace certainly starting to apply some pressure now to McCall. And as I was saying earlier, Versace, one of the guys that's really improved, starting to get the hang of that number 94 Audi now as they go into the spoon curve. Versace following McCall, who's following Abschmeyer. In front of them is the main pack, Bashir Jadwat and the guys. But the man that's out on his own at the moment, Jordan Sherritt, currently 1.6 seconds ahead.
He's obviously putting in some cracker early lap pace. And again, that's check them going defensive. Morgan blocking. See, now you don't normally see, now he's in trouble. He's going to run wide here. That for me is overtake.
Quite Claessens also having a look there. Quite Claessens also getting involved. Quite Claessens goes down the inside, has a look. Morgan McCall's got the outside line here. Versace's got the inside line. They go side by side and they touch multiple times. And I think,
man, that's good racing for us. That's what it's going to be. Because that's the guys are kind of door to door. So there's no incidents for the clock of the course to have a look at. That is racing. Look at the straight line speed of that.
Wow. I saw that first hand now. We could see that first hand now into the right hand, and they go. Audi slots back in front.
Ernest, the fact that Morgan had to go defensive heading into 130R says a lot. I thought he was going to be in trouble trying to move back onto the racing line. Ran a little bit wide. So we spoke about it. That might have been a circuit warning for him, because he certainly went off track there. We know that's one of the critical places that Seth Corsa has a look. You can't go and race the wide through there. So I'm sure he's got a little flag that's lit up and said, hey, don't do too many of those. But he's like, Versace is looking really, really racy. And hard to miss him in that car too. I quite like it. Very, very cool. This is good racing, man.
Fantastic racing from Versace as they go through the Degner. Goes over Versace, gets it very sideways. Can he catch it? No, he doesn't. He's still in the dirt there. Versace losing out a couple of positions, starts to rejoin.
That curve, man. I mean, that Degner curve is so tricky because the brake point comes up so fast, and it's actually a really fast right-hander. You've got to be fully committed to it. He took just a little bit too much curve. You actually saw it unsettle the rear of that Audi. So now he's dropped way, way back. He's setting off the back of that little battle we were talking about earlier with Chris Heineke. So he's dropped all the way down there. So look, it's a 50-minute race. We've done 8 minutes, so he's going to claw his way back, but that's going to be a little dent in his confidence. Shake it off, bud. I know you're going to be frustrated with that. Still a lot of racing to go.
What were we saying about the commentator's curse earlier on? I'm sorry, Versace. I'm sorry.
Raving. But have a look in the background. I'm seeing two Porsches going side by side here. It's quite Claessens, I think.
And McCall looks like it. Yeah, Junior McCall, quite Claessens. We've got him getting involved as well. That's Grobler, JC Grobler, also very quick this weekend. On the outside there, they touch. Grobler cuts across and rejoins in front of McCall.
Now, you see, it's going to be interesting to have a look at, because I know people are going to say, well, he needs to give that position back. But I think Junior ran him deep into that chicane. So at the end of the day, if Junior doesn't turn in, he can't turn in because he's going to get clattered. So I'd like to see that again. I'm pretty sure it's going to become something that'll be reviewed in our incident report tomorrow. But Junior was way, way ragged, running super wide through 130R, and I really think he outbraked himself again. You saw him do it earlier into that chicane, and I think JC did the right thing. He couldn't turn in, otherwise he was going to have a side
incident.
So
and that's why that escape road exists. That's why it's there.
Exactly. So I think I'm okay with that. I know it was a first look at it. I'm sure Jonathan Benson and Wayne Riddell are looking at that now as well to see whether it's a position that's got to be given back. We've got Marcus Steyn down in 20th being given a 15-second. Now, all I can think that is for that first corner incident with Patterson, because Mark Verstappen, I think, lying 6th overall in the championship, brilliant driving in that Ferrari, but for him to be down in 20th and being given a 15-second time penalty, I'm sure that Jonathan and them have awarded that for his involvement in turn 1. If we do get Jonathan on comms at some point, I know he's super busy. I'm sure he can talk us through that, but I'm pretty sure that's what that was for.
Yeah, Bashir Jadwat now currently on board with him. And these guys are so even. Now let's watch and see how fast this Mercedes-Benz is out of the final curve onto the back straight over here. They're heading up towards 130R. He might be in the toe, but let's see if that Mercedes-Benz is able to get any sort of gap here. Not at the moment, and this is the thing, there is a way to set the Porsche up so that it is quite fast on the straight, but then you're going to have to really be delicate with the car on the rest of the course. I think a lot of the guys go for a more stable setup everywhere else, as Bashir Jadwat has a good look here on Bruno Cadile.
Bruno made a mistake on the turn into 130R. He took a lot of curb going in. The car was actually quite unsettled, because that's why Bash suddenly closed up so quickly on him. But look at that Merc pull away down the straight. Certainly got the top end, and that is a cool thing, because like we've spoken about this a few times, you go to some circuits where you know this is where I'm going to be under pressure, and when you get there you realize, hey, my car's dominant here. You don't need to then sit and worry about that. It can be really difficult for an overtake to happen. So I think we've seen this from Bruno before. He's going to be happy that he's got a faster car in a straight line, and it's a tricky flipping place to get a pass done, and even like the toe that you get on the run into 130R, it's not a place you can really get an overtake done. You're lining it up, what happens at the chicane. So, oh man, busy,
The overtakes happen there if big mistakes happen before that, but these top guys don't often make those mistakes, and if they do come, you have to take advantage of it the one time that it happens. Other than that, these guys are running at their pace and trying to outpace each other and outfox each other, and there's certain sections where you don't want to, it's ideal to not be the fox or the hare, because both people usually end up with a little bit of the dent work done on the car. So Bashir Jadwat now chasing after Bruno Cadile, but being responsible about it, trying to make sure to stay in position. He's still got a second place in the championship he needs to secure by the looks of things at the moment, because if everything goes according to plan, Zaire Essa in the Mobile 1 Porsche will take the championship, but the man still in it with a shot, technically, is the 80k man over here, Bashir Jadwat, who's chasing down that Mercedes-Benz. Gets it a bit squirrely there.
Yeah, getting on the power really early, but I mean, he's under big pressure from Jason Abschmeyer too. So he's all over the back of Bruno, but he's also watching mirrors here, because he's got another Porsche that's all over the back of him. So this is great racing to watch. We've got Honor Fasaki making his way back. It looked like he's caught up to the back of, I don't know if that is one of the cars. It looked like one of the Porsches. And then the two... Yeah, it is.
That's King and Hampson. King and Hampson in the Lexus, yeah.
But so we know how quick that Audi is going around the outside here, which we know he can do. He should be on the inside for that chicane. Outside action through there.
He's applying massive pressure to King now.
Yeah, he's got past Heineke, so that was well done, because we know he's no slouch either. We know how quick that Audi is in a straight line. So we're busy watching what's happening in the little live screen at the bottom. Got lots of racing going on.
Oh, it's everywhere.
That's Arno recovering from making that mistake through Degner, and he was in with a proper shout, battling for like 7th, 8th position there. So some work for him to do, and I think he'll be past the two Lexi. Oh, I hate that. He'll be past.
Well, Hampson doing well so far to be the first of the Lexuses up front there, but just in front of him is Bellingen in the Lamborghini. Now, we know the Lamborghini is good around here, and Bellingen has been seeing an improvement of form as of late, so I don't think it's going to be all easy pickings for Fasaki. I think we got ourselves a nice little four-way battle here, with the fastest of the four possibly being in the back, and Luke was joining in as well. We got Heineke also joining in the back of this queue, and behind him Jason Gray looking on and thinking to himself, I want to get a little bit of some of this, I want to get a part of this, as Hampson, King makes a mistake. Fasaki side by side now with King. Fasaki side by side with King, but he makes a mistake and King left it away.
Oh, that Lexus had great drive out of that corner. He went in very, very deep into the chicane. Into the hairpin, but it's a great drive that he ended up getting out of the corner. But Heineke, remember, was actually up ahead of. So Arno's actually got past Heineke already, because Heineke was all over the back of Hampson and King in that little battle. So we know that Audi's quick, so I'm sure he's going to try and get past him. Funnily enough, I know we were meant to be doing our commentators race last week.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use an old setup and make things work, but I've got a steering column that basically turns. So it's like, I suppose, like going snow skiing and not tying your boots. You can't buy them. So I actually got hold of Aldo Bellingham and said, dude, I know you in PE. Can I like go on your rig? But he's actually set up in Neisner at the moment.
Oh my goodness.
Not a bad place to find yourself during lockdown, and I think he's just
Tell
kind
you
of
what.
locked himself down there permanently. So that's why I didn't get to have fun with you and Jonathan and Tasman around Suzuka. But I know that little video is coming out on social media pretty soon.
Yeah, no, it's out already, and it's a whole bunch of bumper bashing and laughing. But I tell you what, it's super fun doing this. It's so fun doing this, and then having the comms as well, where everybody's kind of chatting to each other and chirping each other. It was a great time. I look forward to the next one, man. You should join us.
No, I must just try and get this flipping rig worked out so I can actually steer a car, because that would be fun. Because all I want to do is just do what Tasman talks about, lunging. I'm just going to T-bone Tasman whenever I get a chance.
Now, she was doing a lot of T-boning herself the other day, but hopefully no T-boning now from Bashir Jadwat. There's a lot of action happening further back in that battle we were watching earlier on. Things have shuffled around quite a bit there between Bellingham and Gray. But
Fasaki's got past King. I've just seen that now on the timing as well. So Fasaki's got past now. He's got the next leg of Hampson to chase down. So yeah, I mean, he'll be back in the top 10 pretty soon. Things seem to have stabilized here. So these three, maybe they're starting to think, okay, right, this is kind of a long game now. We've got to look after our tires. We've got something left at the end of the race. But yeah, these three have kind of held the same sort of gap now. Bash is still trying to put pressure on the Merc. The Merc is quick where it needs to be, which is making Bashir even more frustrating, because the Merc is going to go defensive here and then pull out, take the racing line, and he'll be quick through 130R. What a committed corner, eh? Oh, can't be sleeping through here.
Well, we don't have it on screen at the moment, but Fasaki has just taken out Hampson as well. So Fasaki on a real charge here, trying to catch up with the guys further up front. He feels he belongs further up front. But these three guys, as you're saying, nose to tail are they at the moment, with Kadile leading. And Kadile, we've known Kadile to be able to apply and take pressure. Oh, Hampson and Fasaki touch. And Hampson gets taken out by King. King and Hampson take each other out. The two Lexus teammates take each other out. Oh my goodness me, that was an unfortunate incident. I hope we get to see that replay. I think Hampson got a little bit too racy there, and sure, what a shame.
Well, I know Wayne Riddell was complaining that there wasn't anything to do in the Pro-Am race. We only had a small field, 12 cars. They're going to be kept a lot busier because there've been quite a few incidents. So yeah, interesting to see if we can get a replay. That'd be great to see. It looks like King ran into the back of Hampson there. But yeah,
I think there was a bit of a racing incident. I mean, I know that I'm not the judge, jury, or executioner, but I just checked the replay on my little cheat sheet here, and it doesn't look like there was anything malice there, malice there. I think they were just trying to overtake each other, and it just went bad.
I'm just also, I think again, I mean, he was probably having a run to try and get back at Arno Fasaki, who had just passed him probably through Spoon. I think it would have happened. You picked up on it. So I think that's why they probably just fell over each other, not really seeing who else was in their mirrors. But listen, we were on board there having a look at JC Grobler. That's an impressive performance. I mean, the Merc obviously is strong here. He's running in 8th. And we know Quade Claessens is no slouch, and he's managing to keep Quade behind him. But I think it's, again, what we're seeing here is like the Porsche's putting pressure. It's quick in certain parts of the track. We saw it in Pro-Am as well. But you're not quick at the parts of the track that you want to be.
Exactly. That must be so frustrating. I haven't done any laps around here in the Porsche, but I've done many laps in the Mercedes. And I tell you, it must be so frustrating for the other guys, because they can be fast everywhere else, but in the overtaking zones, the Mercedes is the fastest. So I think the guys really, in the defending zones, the parts where you want to be able to just keep the guy off you for a little bit because you're going to try to overtake, the Merc is just shatteringly fast at those spots, and that's where it counts at the moment.
He's look at him pull the gap there. I mean, remember, the Porsche is in the slipstream, so he should be hauling him in here, and he can't even hang on to him. But you know, the Merc also looks really, really good at taking the curbs. So I mean, the way he was clattering into the first part of that chicane, I know it's a bit of a throwaway. You want to line up the second part to get the exit right onto the start finish. But I mean, he literally just turned that car in there and it was like happy days. Everything's pointing straight. So that is also confidence inspiring. You're not worrying about the rear end.
Oh, look at how close Bashir Jadwat's getting over here, but it doesn't count unless you get past. As you were saying about those bump settings, I was messing around with the suspension on the Mercedes this week, and changing one click on the fast bump allows you to hit this bumps like the Degner curves over there a lot harder, so the suspension doesn't bottom out. And the Mercedes, you can do that with a Merc. It's very difficult to do that with a Porsche, as we see Abschmeyer now having a look at Bashir Janwat. Oh no! In all of this here, Abschmeyer has managed to have a look at Bashir Janwat. Janwat's not letting it go though, and defends hard, goes around the outside, and now Abschmeyer's got the run on him.
Can I just say, well driven, Jason, because what he did there, he realized that Bash was actually not going to yield, and he actually braked early for that corner and let him overshoot, because that could have been instant. It actually touched.
Wow.
Bash went in far too hard. But you know what happened there? That was him actually running right up the back of Bruno through Degner, and obviously having to get on the curb. Oh, big power slide coming out. So that was him running right onto the back of the Merc, and obviously getting on the brakes so he didn't clatter into the back of him, and that just gave Jason the proper drive through there. So that was good. You know, you spoke about it. You said when there's an opportunity, a little mistake, you've got to nail it. And that's what Jason did through there. That was I'd love to see that replay of that overtake, because that was proper.
Wow. And these guys here, the White Rabbit Gaming guys, in 5th and 4th positions now. And these guys are on the same team. They're going to be very happy. We saw the Porsche giving a bit of a flash there to Jason, saying, I got past him. Yeah. So I would imagine the two of them would just want to get head down and let's just get away from Bashir, and we can sort ourselves out later. Because you don't want to get into a battle with your teammate now and then have Bashir Jadwat all over the back bumper.
Oh, we're seeing a bit of someone's gone off here. Is that Brent? Who's run off there? Is that one of the Porsches? There's Brendan and the Aston, and we saw a lot of kicking up of dust, so something's gone wrong. Oh, and he's got...
That's Lodger. Oh, we got a Ferrari spun out over there. Oh my goodness, Schutter gets collected there. That was Schutter gets collected.
Yeah, but you know what happened? Brent Lindsay Ray ran into the back and actually tapped the rear end of Sean Skitter there, and that's what got him spun around. So I'm sure you're going to see a little penalty come up on the board for Brent Lindsay Ray, because he certainly did tap him. Got better drive out of the chicane.
We got a nice
play of that. So let's have a look here. Something definitely happened here. Oh, that's Hampson.
That's the Hampson incident. Oh my goodness me. That's the Hampson incident. And as I said, I think that was just a racing. I hope you can see a replay of what happened to Skitter. There's a lot of pandemonium, and the Skitter gets it sideways again.
Yeah. No, listen, I mean, that replay unfortunately doesn't really show us anything of what happened with Hampson. You need to be on board the build-up to that corner, so probably from 130R to see what happened, because from what I saw there, it looked like he just ran into the door of him. So that's not racing. That's actually some little issue. But, you know, our clerk of the course and Jonathan Benson, Wayne Riddell have access to all the onboard. I mean, that's stuff that you can't get to do in the real race world. No. Is that you can see what the TV shows you. But in a set of course, they can jump on board, they can watch it, replay it, view it from every angle. So, you know, you can't say, oh, no, dude, he ran into me. No, we've got the footage.
We've got the footage. I tell you what, I've been immersing myself in this world, and I learn new things all the time. The data, the information that you've got access to, and it's like having an unlimited budget while racing. It's the best thing, because that's what we all want, right? We all want to race with an unlimited budget. And that's what this is like. You've got the fastest possible tin-top cars. You've got unlimited budget if you crash it. You've got access to infinite data. It's an incredible world, man. It's so immersive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, for me, I get that. It is awesome. But, oh, man, the idea is that you come from this and you get given an opportunity to actually strap your butt into the real thing and take what you've learned and the craft that you've developed. Because this is about learning racecraft here. So, you know, and strategy, because you're spending so much time. I mean, how much of a mission is it to go and race tracks around the world? Yeah, you get to race all the best tracks around the world, no problem. You are there. So you're getting seat time everywhere, and I think that is crucial. But for me, it still is the ultimate, is to be able to strap yourself into the racecraft for real, because there is still a massive thing called consequence, and what happens if things do go wrong.
Indeed.
You know that you are still in a simulation. I tell you what, the anxiety is totally different when it comes racing. Last Friday night, we were chatting about earlier. Last Friday night, I didn't sleep because I haven't raced in 3 years.
Yes, of course you didn't sleep.
And to go and race,
I have nightmares the night before.
No, but I never do, because you're normally racing, so you're used to it. But I would have been comfortable if I'd have driven the car before racing. So that pressure, now you're also going, listen, I don't want to mess this up because I've got a teammate. I don't want to go do something stupid on the first lap. So all of this stuff is flipping playing.
You'll never live it down. You'll never live it down.
And you don't really have that in the simulation world. You don't have that.
Yeah.
But Jason looks like he's got some real pace. I wonder if there's going to be some in-team shuffling here, because at the end of the day, Jason should actually be helping Bruno to score as many points as possible here. So
Indeed.
maybe the role is going to be, maybe they're on there.
Jason gets it sideways there. Bashir Jadwat's now going to have a look. Bashir Jadwat tries to go down the inside. He does not, in fact, have that look. But that could have been a potential opportunity missed there. I don't think it was close enough.
I wonder if they're going to be in chat on Discord saying, listen, you just hold him up. Because at the end of the day, to finish 4th at Suzuka is going to be massive for his championship for Bruno.
Yep.
And yeah, he's got his teammates, sure, in a different car. But I mean, riding shotgun, Porsche to Porsche, they can match each other because now you don't have that differential in, well, you fast here, I'm fast there. These cars are identical, essentially. They might have different setups, but these are two of the top guys. So their setups are going to be very, very similar, very extreme. So yeah, this is really playing in Bruno Cadilla's favor to maximize points because Morgan McCall, he's competitive, he's fighting for overall championship position is 27, you know.
Is the 9th.
Yeah.
So he's in a very, very good position at the moment. And again, Bruno Cadile just shy of the podium, but that's no mean feat in the company that he's keeping. So Bruno Cadile now in 4th position. Abschmeier getting real pressure from Bashir Jadwat after having gotten past him earlier on. And Bashir Jadwat had I wouldn't say a missed opportunity, but he had one. Abschmeier made one teeny tiny mistake, and I'm wondering if Abschmeier is going to be making any more of those with 25 minutes to go. I mean, these guys usually don't make big mistakes.
You spoke about it. It was such a good point that you brought up as we go on board with our race here to Jordan Sherritt. I mean, you know, for him to be 3.6 seconds ahead halfway through the race, literally, of our championship leader and the guy who's probably going to be crowned today, is amazing because we know how fast ARS is. But
yeah,
you mentioned it earlier, like racing here, it's about eliminating mistakes, and that is why they spend so much time in the rigs doing lap after lap after lap, and it's about eliminating that. So when you're racing at pro level, if there is a mistake done, like you said, the guy's got to be in the perfect position to capitalize on that, and Bash was just a little bit too far back to get the most of that little mistake that was made by Jason Abschmeier. The thing for me is, we know, I'm looking at this 13 laps down. The thing for me is, we know that everyone talks about the Porsche struggling with tire wear. No one talks about that with the Audis. I just don't know how hectic tire wear is around the circuit, because for me, the fast and flowing nature of the track means that you're not going to be too heavy on the tires. Although there are some corners that are heavy load corners, the track is quite even in terms of left versus right, so it's not really favoring anything. So yeah, I don't know if the Porsche's tires are going to go off, but that's something that obviously Jordan will be happy about, knowing that he doesn't have those issues with 10 minutes to go in the race, you know. So things are looking good for Jordan for that race win.
Well, so far the Porsches are managing to keep a pace of about a 2:01, 1 second off their best. Jordan Sherritt at the moment doing 1:59's his best, and a 2-minute dead as his last lap. So the Audi certainly is still keeping that pace. We've got, however, Zaire Essa, of course, the standout in the Porsche, also doing 2 minutes. So he's in the 2-minute zone, but the rest of the Porsches are doing 2:01's at the moment. So maybe some of the guys are losing some tires, but certainly not Zaire Essa at the moment as far as pace is concerned.
No, you know, the thing is, I just, you know, these guys are standouts. I mean, for them to be lapping those times. But, you know, Jordan will know. You'll see the mobile livery. You'll know that Zaire is right there. One little mistake and there's problems. I've just picked up the Aldo Bellingham. We've missed that. He's dropped down. That's the Lamborghini. Remember, they were sitting at about 10. He's down in 18th and we're giving a 15-second penalty. So that means he's gone and made a mistake. He's gone and clattered into somebody and getting a double penalty there as well, because he's going to lose position on track, which he's done already, and obviously 15 seconds added to his time at the end of the race. Charles Wilkin, I wonder what happened to him, because remember, he qualified top 10 and in 20th. I don't know if he was, that's the green Porsche. I think that's who was involved in that Kieran Patterson incident on turn 1. So that's why he's down in 20th position, because he should have been way further up. He qualified a lot better, and I remember seeing a flash of green going sideways. So I'm sure we'll get to see that in our Monday incident report and be able to report back on that.
Yeah, Brent Lindsay Ray there in the Aston Martin 19th position, giving Bellingham a bit of a hard time there through the left-hander as they go onto the straight. Now, has Bellingham got some damage at this stage of the race? Most of the guys have picked up a little bit of damage. If you touch a car, you might have slight damage. So there are certain instances as well where it's not just tire wear that causes the guys to drop pace, but it's actual physical damage on the cars. We see the Lamborghini very sideways. He's still got it sideways. Catches it though, and this time Lindsay Ray is going to have a look down the inside. Lindsay Ray goes down the inside. Can he make the next corner? Wilkins looking on as well. Wilkin now also within striking range for the next corner.
How beautiful was that? Good job, Mr. Director. I mean, to cut to that Lambo, I thought, there we go. And you know, for Brent Lindsay Ray, it's probably also going, oh my word, where's this Lambo going to end?
Yes, exactly.
Aldo did so well controlling that slide. Sure, he's lost a position. He's just changed his underpants, but he gets to live through another lap of Suzuka, because that is not where you want to get it wrong. That was nothing.
Yeah. Oh, the thing is, that is one of the places where you can potentially catch it if you stay calm. But if you don't catch it, it's a very, very big problem.
It's a bogey is what it is. I mean, you're going to end up in the gutters either side. You know what I mean? You don't have a choice.
Because there is space to catch it. There's space to catch it, but there's also space to get it wrong.
Yeah, because there's walls. I mean, there's no runoff. There's no forgiveness. Same as Nonchlife. Make a mistake, you're hitting a wall, and that's what happens here at Suzuka too. This battle continues. Jason literally he's definitely got the pace. He's quicker than Bruno, and we know that Porsche looks really good through the snake section of the circuit. Those corners that you've got to link together so beautifully. But we know the Merc is fast in a straight line. But yeah, I'm wondering what's going on here. If these guys are going to try and get Jason to help Bruno, just kind of bash up as much as possible. We know Bash. I mean, he's not going to muck around. If he gets a chance, he's going to put a nose in there. So it's a tricky and a fine game that Jason's trying to balance here. And there in the background is Morgan McCall. So he's looking ahead going, there's the guy that's on my tail in third position. I'm hoping something happens here, and I'm going to collect the pieces.
Oh, I'm hoping that they hold each other up so that Morgan can get involved in this, because that to me would be a championship dream come true. Then we've got ourselves a fight, because the Mercedes-Benz, Bruno doesn't have that position wrapped up yet. Morgan McCall certainly doesn't think so. As Abschmeyer gets it a little bit squirrely there through the S's, Judd Watt getting up close and personal. And it doesn't look like Kadile can get away. It looks like Abschmeyer might have the pace on it.
Yeah, it really does. We saw earlier how easy it was for Bash to get on the back of him through that section. So we know the Porsche is changing direction really well, but the Merc is quick again in that straight line, which certainly does help. Looking back there to Charles Wilkin, behind him is Donnie Miller in Aston. But it looks like Brent Lindsay Ray, once making that pass on Aldo Bellingham, has actually opened up a bit of a gap. Charles actually dropped off the back of Aldo, so I don't know if he's gone and made a mistake, because Donnie wasn't in the picture earlier, and now suddenly he is. So
Donnie Miller actually fell back a couple of positions. Donnie Miller made a mistake and fell back, I think it was. That was Leon Leroux. I'm thinking of Leon Leroux. That was Leon Leroux in the other half.
We haven't seen much of Donnie at all in this race. I was just also picking up, having a look at who else is running good times, little battles to watch. I see Richard van Coller is like 0.3, so all over the back of the Lexus of Hampson. And then also Junior McCall is going to start coming under a little bit of pressure, because there we go.
That's King over there. That's King on the outside over there, with Van Coller next to him there, right up close and personal. And King might have some damage from that earlier incident in the Lexus. And you know, when they do get that damage, it's so ever so slight, but you can feel the car's maybe 5 kilowatts down. That's not a lot.
You don't know what it is either. That's why I was asking about. It doesn't tell you what
ever so slightly. Yes. It's just ever so slightly off.
And you don't know what it is, because apparently it tells you you've got this much damage. But I mean, like, if it's aero and you start going like now into 130R, and suddenly the front end doesn't want to turn, and you've got understeer, like,
exactly.
Oh my word.
Exactly.
But I'm also having a look, Arno Fasaki up ahead. We know he was way further up till he made that mistake through Degner. He's closing on the back of Junior McCall now as well, so that's come down to under a second. But great racing here with King under massive pressure from Richard van Coller. And we know that Bentley is good on tyres, so it's gonna be strong at the end of the race, and we're getting close to the end of the race now. 16 minutes to go, and like we've spoken about it before, the twilight zone, that is the last 10 minutes of a 80k Pro Series race. I mean, chaos happens, and it does. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. And there we go, with Junior McCall coming under pressure now from Arno Fasaki, and just up ahead is Craig Claessens. Craig having a bit of a quiet race, eh? He's normally further up.
Quite having a very quiet race at the moment, and usually the pace is also quite a bit further up, but in the Porsche, as we said, the Porsche is not the best for the circuit, so everybody's just trying to get the most out of these cars. And the Porsche is also one of those cars where you've got to have supreme confidence in the car, and this is one of those circuits where if you touch one of the curbs, the Porsche does not like it, whereas with a Merc, you can do exactly the opposite. So, maybe he didn't have enough time to practice. We also forget sometimes that there are real-world limitations, and some of the guys are now starting to work and do other things.
It's called work.
Yeah, so it's very difficult to get that practice time as we cut now to Bashir, Jadwat, Abschmeyer in the mix there. Abschmeyer, no love lost here with these two teammates. It's no team orders either, as Abschmeyer has a look with Bruno Cadile. He says, you know what, we might be teammates, but I think I'm faster than you, at least here. And maybe I'm going to have to take this position.
Yeah, listen, what Jason doesn't want to do is get involved in a championship muck-up here, by tapping the back of Bruno. But, I mean, Bruno can't afford to let Jason past either, because we know then it's Bash and then it's Morgan McCall. So,
Bash got a good run out of that last corner there.
Yeah.
The battle is going to affect everybody involved here, as Bash now very close to the back of Abschmeyer. Abschmeyer very close to the back of Cadile, and Morgan McCall 1.5 seconds away from all of this.
Yeah, you don't actually know where to watch, because I'm loving this battle, but I think it's going to be a good battle with Junior McCall. There we go. And he's got up the inside of Junior, so that's a move done. And it's Quade
Well done, Arno Fasaki.
No, but Quade Clausen's... Okay, Quade was there. Okay, so Arno's got a clean move done, and now the next target is Quade. So this is a great comeback drive from Arno. You speak about limiting mistakes. She's one little mistake through Degner cost him like 6 or 7 positions.
But having a look.
Got a run up, Jason. He's going to block.
Oh my goodness me! Now I've gone through this corner like that a few times, and I tell you what, that was as close as it gets, man. That was as close as it gets.
Jason, well done. Did you see how he stopped?
Beautiful.
Stopped Bash. Because Bash was trying to get an undercut, and Jason said, no, I'll just keep my car there, so you can't undercut, you can't turn in. So that was proper strategic driving by
This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see.
That was beautiful, man. Wow. Really,
and the thing is, you think your instinct there is to perhaps try and get the fastest possible run out, use the width of the track, and then get caught out by the undercut. And Abschmeyer did exactly the right thing. In a moment of chaos, he was the calm, and he maintained position.
Oh, he just slowed down as much as Bash did, and Bash then can't do the undercut. It was really good. I mean, listen, that's given Bruno a bit of breathing space. Morgan must be licking his lips going, please, dude, fall over each other, guys. Cause chaos so I can score some positions, and that can happen. We've got 13 and a half minutes to go in this race. I'm just having a look up front. I mean, 4 seconds, the gap between first and second. Leslie further back. So our top 3 looks pretty much set, but these are the battles that we're really interested in, because, again, these are the battles that have real implications for our championship. This is second, third, and fourth in the championship, playing there with Abschmeyer, who's probably down in 13th in the championship. So these are the guys that still have everything to play for as we run into the end of our 80K Pro Series for 2020.
I know I didn't get my wish of seeing Jadwat, Issa, and Sherrod battling out, but I tell you what, this is not a bad consolation prize. These guys are 3 of the fastest guys in the Pro Series, and they are showing us exactly why, nose-to-tail stuff. And with the odd shuffle of position as Bashir Jadwat chases down Jason Abschmeyer into the Degner section over there, over the bumps, as we go live down the bottom with the Lamborghini. That looks like Shoal Wilkin there.
Sorry, big slide from Jason through there as well. Also, I know we've got action down below, but there's more action. It looks like Quade Clausen's has now been caught by Arno Fasaki. So that's like he's been passed. So Arno's got past Quade Clausen's. Brilliant. So, will he be able to catch the Merc that's 10 seconds up ahead of him? Let's see. There's certainly time left. But action all around. That is Donnie.
That's Donnie Miller, yeah. And Bellingham.
Aldo Bellingham. Yeah. And Shoal Wilkin is going, I'm back.
Uncle Shoal is back in the driver's seat now, chasing down Miller and Bellingham in 20th and 19th position.
And Patterson, that's the Porsche of Patterson on the back of Shoal Wilkin. So again, he got caught out in that first corner incident on the first lap. So those are guys we're normally used to talking about in our top 10, but now they're just kind of battling around 20th position. So
Skitz is also getting involved there by the looks of things. So we've got a couple of battles going into the last 10 minutes here where the guys are nose to tail. And Wilkin having a look down the outside there. He's going to try the undercut we were talking about earlier on. Miller now also having a look at Bellingham. They are all nose to tail now. And Wilkin letting Miller know exactly what his intentions are. as they go.
Oh, that's a hell of a corner there. I'm trying to line them up for Spoon. These are real technical
Oh,
corners.
something's happened with the.
Bash.
Oh my goodness! Bash gets the overtake. Belling is out.
My word, there was contact in Spoon as we were watching Bash. I didn't even see how Bash got past Jason. I was certainly watching what is it.
I know there's a lot happening here. Miller and Bellingham touched, and Bash simply pulled a master overtaking maneuver there on Jason Abschmeyer, as now Skitter and Miller all get involved in a tussle here.
Patterson and Wilkin were side by side through. Oh, check them under brake. And
Everybody's got
it. Wilkins got past. Who's that? Skitter. Oh, Wilkins got past. Oh my word! I don't know what's happened there, but it's Patterson's there. So
Eco's involved as well. Eco's on the back of the queue, and we know Eco's fast.
Oh, but listen, I mean, the big winner there was Patterson. He was behind all of these guys, if you remember. So he's kind of really benefited from that chaos. Oh, and he's gone and run.
Skitter runs wide. Miller too. Miller's gonna tuck it in here. Try and get Eco comes down the inside of Miller. Eco having a look now. Through the S's they go side by side. This is a bad move. The Miller car touches the curb there, says it's Miller time, and takes the position back.
Yeah, I think sad for Eco. He was in the wrong position there because he had to back out of that completely. So he's going to have to build up again for that one. I just want to have a look. I see Fasaki is 3.5 seconds off of the back of JC Klobber in the Merc. So there's a position, little battle for 8th place for him. But my word, this was some good racing to watch. I'd like to see what's happening with Bash and Jason, because I'm sure Jason will be grumpy about that.
Oh,
too keen to have a good comeback. So, yeah, this kind of battle's settling down. I want to, if our director can take us back to that battle up top. It looks as Wilkin got past Patterson.
Wilkin just got past Patterson.
I don't know where to look. Give me 5.
Wilkin just got past Patterson now, but that move is done as we join Bruno Cadile now, having to once again defend. Bash gets sideways.
Oh, Jason and Bash are going to come together there for sure. And he's got past him. They've come together. Bash is off there. Oh, they haven't. Okay, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong car. There's what's going on for me. My brain can't compute fast enough.
There's a lot happening here, I'll tell you that. Bash now back behind Cadile.
How did Bash hold on to that? That car was so crossed up through turn 1.
I've been on board with Bash when he gets the car sideways. He's so smooth at big opposite lock moments. And then he says he's not good at sliding cars. And I don't think he is, but he's good at catching slide.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think that's pure instinct. That's not thinking about it. That's just seat time, and you know what to do instinctively, and that's what makes a racing driver sharp. When you spend time in the seat, it's stuff you don't think about, moves you don't think about, things just come naturally. So, but that certainly would have given Jason an opportunity to go, hey, listen, I need to put him under a bit more pressure, because he was obviously running up the back of that Merc and ran in a bit hot into turn 1, struggled to get the car slowed down and put it into a big power slide on the way out. Oh man, that was a good catch.
Bruno Cadile really is a class act, because he's always got someone on his backbone.
He's never in the faster car. He's always in the car that is not the best car. It's fast in a straight line, and then it's a bit of a dog.
It's like a drag car.
Yeah, you'd swear this was built in America. Fast in a straight line, and then it can't turn. But yeah, he absorbs pressure big time. I mean, think about it. How often has he not been in our top 3 for driver of the day?
Yeah.
He's driving above the car, and that's what I respect. But he's going to be under massive pressure. Watch Bash have a look at him here through turn 1 again. We know the Merc is quick in a straight line, so Bruno should feel quite comfortable here that he can not worry about going defensive into turn 1.
No need. I've spoken to the guys about this phenomenon, and they say that from the Merc guys on a course like this, there's zero concern that the Porsche is going to overtake them at the end of the straight.
Yeah.
It's of no concern. If you get a good run out the previous corner, all you got to do is make sure that your run is good. And even if your run isn't great, it's still going to be better than the Porsche.
Yeah, because it's actually still bloody difficult to get a pass down into turn 1. It's going to be fully committed through there. But this is where the Porsche is so quick, is through this technical setup section here, where you literally have to carry speed, your throttle control. Look at Bash. He is trying anything and everything, putting Bruno under massive pressure. They're coming up to Degner now, which for me is such an amazing corner, because it's commitment, it's fast, so easy to make a mistake, and brilliant.
Bash pressuring hard here. Bruno Cadile running 201s at the moment. He's on pace for 202, so he's definitely a little bit off pace here. And getting it so squirrely there under braking as he gets under massive pressure from the ATK car. But now the other White Rabbit gaming car also edging ever closer. We got 6 minutes of racing left, ladies and gentlemen.
Owned by, hey?
It's blown by. It's blown by.
I was just going onto my WhatsApp there, just picking up our guys that are doing all the work from an official perspective, making sure that the drivers behave themselves on track. Jonathan Bench just sent through that incident in turn 1. Patterson actually got given a drive-through, which is why he got dropped all the way down. He's sitting in 21st now for running wide and spinning Wilken out in turn 1 on lap 1. So like you said, those two guys were in the top 10, should be running in the top 10. They're battling for 20th position. And then there was a 15-second penalty for staying, for spinning Quincy Ray in the hairpin.
Bash applying some pressure now through the Casio corners over here. Bash getting right up close there, but it's just not going to be enough. Let's see what happens now on the straight. The Mercedes-Benz just absolutely pulverizes the course. Anything that's a straight road, it's like a catapult. Just point and shoot.
But have a look. I mean, don't forget, like 0.5, right behind, there's Jason. And right behind Jason is Morgan. This is a four-way battle with 5 minutes to go for 4th position. I mean, the podiums are pretty secure. Nothing's going to change that. I mean, Leslie Oliphant could limp home now. You know, he's got a 22-second lead. But this is the battle to watch, because this is crucial for the championship. Bruno knows he's got to stay ahead of these two cars to score maximum points, to draw level, probably sitting at, they'll both be on even points. I think my maths wasn't great. Oh, and he makes a mistake.
Bash makes a mistake.
Well done, man, Jason. And that's the thing. Jason was right there. So when the mistake happened, he was right there to capitalize. Bash is going to be kicking himself.
Morgan McCall now also right there. And now so much more in between Morgan McCall. Morgan McCall would have hoped that eye in the sky getting a bit distracted there by Walker. That was a cool shot though, either way.
And that's what makes this track so amazing, because the figure of 8, you're crossing over yourself here. It's incredible. Bruno's going to feel a lot happier now, knowing 4 minutes ago that he's got a teammate that can ride shotgun for him. And Bash will be hating that. One tiny little mistake. You saw the nose just broke, ran a little bit wide, and Jason was there to capitalize. And that is about pressure. You've got to be there. So as much as he's putting pressure on the driver ahead of him, he's under pressure from behind as well. So there's no opportunity for these guys to relax. And we know 50 minutes is heavy. This is intense concentration. So easy to have one lapse.
Well, 3 minutes and 42 seconds or thereabouts is what's left of the ATK Pro Series Pro Division. And these are the best of the best when it comes to sim racing in South Africa. And I'm sure you've seen why, because these guys really can take the fight to each other. And these 4 gentlemen in front of you certainly have taken the fight to each other. Bashir Jabbar now currently in 6th position, just behind Jason Abschmeyer and Bruno Cadile, the man who is charging hard to try and get that 3rd place in the championship. Behind him is... watching on is Morgan McCall also battling it out for that 3rd place. That for me is the highlight of where we're at the season now. But there is one person that has gone unmentioned, and he's our 2nd place man, Zahir Issa, who will, if he stays in 2nd position, clinch the championship title overall today.
Yeah, listen, you know, I was just thinking now, we know that he's running with the Mobile livery. Mobile are joining us for the first time. If it's a company that hasn't really watched sim racing or been a part of it, if they're watching this right now, they're going, wow, because this is some of the most amazing race action that you're seeing. If this was GT3 racing for real, you'd be thinking you treated to the greatest spectacle ever, and it's no different in sim racing, and that's kind of what the ATK Pro Series has been delivering. This is round 10. We've been doing it since the beginning of the year. And it's amazing to see the quality of these pro drivers, because this is super, super pressure that these guys are absorbing.
Oh!
Wow. That looks amazing. That looked really, really. We've got a drive-through penalty for Jordan Sherritt. Are you joking?
My goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Jordan Sherritt gets a drive-through penalty. This is not good. And this is a replay of an incident we saw earlier on. 2 cars touching each other by the looks of things. And that's Charles Wilken and Bellingham over there. Oh my goodness me.
No, listen, Charles Wilken, I mean, that for me is, you get banned from racing for that. Deliberately driving into the guy. But I need to find out why our leader has been given a drive-through penalty.
With 1 minute and 38 seconds to go. He's only got a 3-second lead. Oh my goodness. I think he's run wide. I think is run wide. This could see Zaire Essa in the Mobile 1
winning.
Porsche win the race and win the championship.
Okay, you know what? I know I wanted the trifecta where I was going to get all 3 predictions I made right. I'm happy to get this wrong because how cool for our champion to win the championship by winning the race at Suzuka in the mobile livery wearing one. But check it, Ash.
Morgan McCall having a look now. Morgan McCall having a look down the outside. He gets it. Morgan McCall gets it. Gets a bit of a twitch though. Upgraded himself.
Yeah, you're going to run wide there. That's so tricky to go around the outside. I mean, he's coming back at Bash, but wow, very, very difficult. Bash seems to be struggling to get his car to stop and turn. Jason ran wide there as well. But again, you mentioned you get your rhythm wrong through the snakes. And it's very, very hard to get that flow back on it. But yeah, that is radical. Drive through. I mean, he just doesn't have enough of a gap because you're going to have to pull into the pits.
No, he doesn't have enough of a gap.
I mean, I would wait. What's the limit? I mean, you have to do his drive-through now on the final lap. And have a look.
Yeah, he has to do it on the final lap. He has to do the final lap.
Arno, so we predicted that. So there's a change potentially there. But he's not going to do what Michael Schumacher did, winning the race in the pit lane, because I don't think he has enough time.
No, I don't think he has enough time. I think he could drive through the pit lane on the final lap.
Oh, he can, because that'll be his drive. No, he can't.
I think you can. I'm not actually sure about that. We're going to have to cut to him to see what he's going to do, but the battle ensues here. But
Michael Schumacher, that's what he did. He took his drive-through penalty, but it's about where's
your pit box
flag and where is the pit box. So that's why he can do it. Now there is no pit box.
Shedid's going in now. Shedid's gone into the pits now. He's currently in first position as Essa around the corner there.
So he should win it.
Essa gets ahead.
Okay, so Jordan finishes second. So you see,
Essa wins it. Unbelievable stuff. Essa in the mobile Porsche wins it. He can't believe it. He cannot believe it. Essa takes it from the...
Oh no, Bruno spins it.
Oh my goodness, Bruno Cadilla's out. Bruno Cadilla's out. What just happened? What just happened there? Bruno Cadilla's out. Essa wins. Pandemonium on the final couple of corners.
My word. You've got 3 corners to go, and he loses it through 130R. Check it, Zaire, doing burnouts for us.
Oh my goodness.
I'm loving it.
You know what? He did not see that win coming. This is the first time we've seen him show emotion. I think we can let that one slide.
And Versach, he got past Skrobler, finishing in 8th. But I mean, that is a huge surprise. I mean, listen, if Mobile wanted to join a race winner at the right race, they just did. But I just can't believe what happened to. And Jordan Sherritt's been given a 30-second. So I'm confused now. What is that? He's dropped down to 7.
Oh my goodness me.
Jonathan Benz here to find out what the hell is going on here, because maybe the game didn't like the fact that he came to do his drive-through when there were no more laps left. That's all I can think. Because there is no pit box. So that's why Schumacher won, because he had a pit box. So it'll be interesting. A lot of technical stuff going on here. We've never had this happen to us before. So very interesting to see what's gone down there. Wow.
Bruno Cadile lost it in the most uncharacteristic way after 130R. I mean, it was just one mistake, and that cost him what a disappointing finish for him. But the Mobile 1 Porsche takes first position and the championship. We'll be right back after this break to discuss what just happened.
Let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Ask him now what's saying. I've been going to the top and I got what it now, so I know that I hate that. But I'm on that. All these lanes gonna zone out. And all these lanes gonna say what I did and they twisting their words till I fall out. But I know that, so I keep what I'm doing cause I own that. And I stay in the lab and I kill everything, but I don't ever move from my phone. So finally back in my home. I'm working like so much. That's why I had me a drum. Hands to my phone now. Just need to dance that song. All in, can't beat me up cause I'm back in my zone now.
Having a great strap on almost banging wheels.
Cause I'm back in my zone now.
That goes green, no way. That's good, settle down.
Oh,
I don't know how to express. I felt like just being silent for a couple of seconds there, Marius, because I am in shock with what we just witnessed.
dude, you know, when all of us are sitting here going, okay, hang on, who's our top three? Because in the space of 3 corners, the world came to an end in the ATK Pro Series. I mean, we've spoken about like Twilight Zone stuff with 10 minutes to go in the race. Chaos normally does unfold. But I mean, that for me was pretty done. We were getting so freaked out that our leader, Dominance, Jordan, was given a drive-through for exceeding track limits by the game. Gets given a drive-through penalty, which he can't take on the last lap. So he now gets another 30 seconds thrown onto that. So he's now way down in 7th. And then, I mean, geez, like the guy we've been raving about for absorbing all the pressure, tosses it through 130R on the final lap. Bruno Cadile. I mean, it's like, wow. So here is our top 3.
Sure.
Red Funds, a man that we never spoke about because he was sitting comfortably in 3rd, is now in 2nd. What a drive. Jason Absmeyer having a battle of the life, running shotgun for his teammates, ends up finishing on the podium in 3rd. Welcome back, Jason Absmeyer. But our champion, I mean, listen, we knew he was going to win it. But to win it like this, you know, with the mobile branding, number 1, and he wins at Suzuka. Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
That is pulling a white rabbit out of the hat.
Well, someone that certainly pulled a white rabbit out of the hat today is Jason Abschmeyer. He joins us in the commentary box. Jason, congratulations on that podium finish. But can we just take a moment to reflect on those last couple of corners?
Yeah, thank you. That was very unexpected.
What happened?
Bruno too did a handbrake turn at just after 130R. I don't know what happened there. I hope it wasn't lag spike or something.
No. The car just stepped out, he spun out, and the rest is history, man.
It's so unfortunate. That battle was one of my best yet.
Jason, we I mean, lucky to chat to you, but it's been a while.
Hey, Marius.
we were talking about, like, I know you guys are the same team. I mean, was there any time where you would like, listen, let me ride shotgun, Morgan's 2 positions back, let me try and help my teammates secure 3rd in the overall championship? What was that stuff going down?
No, not really. I mean, Bruno is a man on his own.
Yeah.
When he drives, I mean, we don't even go on Discord or TeamSpeak or anything.
Okay.
So he focuses on his own race, and then George retired in the middle of the race, so he was my spotter. Okay. And there was a point where I was on Bruno's bum, and I asked George multi-21, but I got no answer. But no disrespect. I mean, Bruno had a massive race, so yeah.
But listen, Jason, as well, we're talking about Suzuka is such a difficult track to overtake. It's an amazing track from a driving perspective. You guys must be buggered because there's no margin for mistake. But if it's going to happen, you've got to be there to capitalize. I mean, it was the smallest of little error from Bash, and back you went again. I mean, the 2 of you guys had an epic battle, and then obviously Bruno involved. You must be stoked. That is great racing.
Yeah, no, like Essa said, I think it was after Paul Ricard, I've got the biggest smile on my face, and to be completely honest, at 1 o'clock I wasn't too keen to race because I was struggling with the setup, and then Jordan helped me with a big setup, so big thank you to him for helping me out, and it worked out in the end.
Sure, it certainly did. Jason Abschmeyer, well done on that podium. Is this your first podium for the Pro Series?
Yeah.
No, it's
You-
I think it's my third.
Oh, sorry. I think you were quite active at the beginning of the season, so you're back to form now.
Oh, Jason,
And-
what happened? I know you had some technical stuff, but I mean, it's good to welcome back, dude. 'Cause
Yes.
I can't remember you being on the podium. It's been so long.
Yeah, I know. I got second place at Kyalami and then third at Paul Reward.
Yes.
But yeah, the last couple of races, I mean, Bathurst, I didn't get much time to practice. I mean, life all of a sudden just happened.
Yeah.
And with load shedding, so I mean, it's luck of the draw.
So, Jason Afschmeyer. Oh, yeah, of course. You guys go way back, so I'm sure you must be happy that your man is doing well, yeah?
I mean, his corner, well done. Boxing.
Thanks, man. And
Thank you.
What an opportunity taken by Jason Afschmeyer. He was there the entire time, and when the moment came, he seized it, gets third position. Well deserved. Back on winning form is Jason Afschmeyer in second position. Leslie Oliphant going largely unnoticed today in second position. Leslie Oliphant going largely unnoticed there. Just doing laps, and you were saying that just for that, Marius, he deserves a little bit of praise.
Yeah,
because he kept his head down and did what he needed to do.
Leslie's joined us in chat now, so let Leslie listen to what I'm going to say now, because for me, he's one of my drivers of the day because we never spoke about him. It sounds crazy, but he just put his head down and was putting in the laps, and yeah, he was always going to be on the podium. I mean, the fact that it ends up being second and not third, well, that's what happens in racing. But Leslie, dude, what a race. We didn't see much of you in it, but you're not making any mistakes. If you're finishing second after 50 minutes at Suzuka, you must be knackered because that was proper driving.
Thank you. It was tough, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I suppose in a way, maybe this became like a proper simulator run for you because you weren't involved in any battles. You got out of all the chaos in the beginning, and you could just get into your rhythm. You weren't involved in anything, and that's cool because you can then set your lap delta and just get the laps done. Whereas for the other guys, they were involved in massive battles. Any tire management issues for you in the Porsche around Suzuka, or the fact that you weren't involved in battles made it pretty easy?
My tires were gone in the last 12 minutes. I've struggled a lot to keep the car on track.
Oh, wow.
Well,
so that's the thing, though, so because we couldn't see that. And unfortunately, we've got no tire monitors for you guys. And all we hear is that the Porsche guys always say the tires are going off the tires. So you are saying that was your experience as well?
Yeah, the rear end was loose in the last 12 minutes.
It must have been lovely through 130R with a loose rear end in a Porsche.
Yeah, I actually had to slow down quite a lot before the turn just so I could make it through.
Well, at least you didn't do a handbrake turn like Bruno, because that's pretty much what he did through there. But listen, epic race. I mean, we go 2 weeks time. I think we at Spa. Quite a similar circuit in terms of the fast and flowing nature of Suzuka to Spa. Do you know the track well? You're looking forward to that?
I know the track very well, but my setup is like really high downforce, so that's why I'm very slow in the straights.
But I suppose you're also worried, like for me there, that's a real track where you got to manage your tires because it's a long lap. I'm sure we're going to have weather. We've got to. It's Spa. So it's something for you guys to think about, round 11.
Yeah, that'll be hectic.
Leslie, well done, bud. Seriously, epic. Nice to have you on the podium in second. Well done, man.
Thank you very much.
Marius, do you know something that we don't about the weather going into Spa? Because
no, I just know all the guys are now listening, so I'm just going to start mucking with their heads a little bit. No, we've got it. We've got it. Oh, man.
I'm going to let you take this one, Marius.
Jordan's just joined us. Jordan, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a little bit grumpy. Okay, I know you're grumpy with yourself at the moment, but I'm a little bit grumpy too because I had you on the trifecta. You were going to win this, do this, and everything was going according to plan, exceeding track limits. I mean, it's so easy to do when you're running the pace that you are. Where was it? Was it through 130R?
Well, I actually don't want to make excuses, but I think it actually was a bug because I only had two track limits throughout the race. And if I had 3, I would have obviously backed off. And hence I was pushing the whole way. And I went slightly wide coming out of the spoon, right? Going onto the back straight. And it gave me like a double. And then I got a drive through. And when I only had 2 really warnings. So, but, it was a good race. So, I'm just obviously a bit irritated.
But obviously now as well, I mean, we were all screaming and shouting, you're going to do the Schumacher. But obviously regulations have changed. So, I mean, for you you probably could have still found, you would have still been on the podium, but you obviously did the drive-through on the last lap. So then you've been given 30 seconds as well, so it drops you down to 7th. I mean, you don't deserve 7th.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, I try to pull like a sneaky move, hopefully. Like, I just thought, okay, if I do the drive-through in the last lap, maybe I can still finish second.
I was hoping that would work. I was thinking that's the move. That is the move.
But we were talking about it. Unfortunately, in a set of course, you don't have a pit box, so you don't have. But I mean, like we're talking now during the ad break, obviously the game needs you to complete and exit and go again. So you've got to do a proper drive-through. So those sort of sneaky things aren't possible anymore. But look, I mean, for you, it's worth having a go and trying it because I mean, your championship, you're not fighting for second or third overall because you've had some technical hassles which have really hampered you. But I mean, yes, it's a master class. And can we say congratulations? I know it's a different race series, but I mean, you were the international team that won the 10-hour of Suzuka yesterday, correct?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But who were the guys you were racing with? How did that come about?
Well, I've been in this team, sort of, it's called GTWR. They're quite a very well-known team, but it's nothing like serious. It's just for fun. And they decided to put a team together, and one of the guys in my team is Statsenko. He actually qualified pole on the SRO final, so he's very, very good. And so we just put a small team together. Some of the other two guys weren't as fast, but we just basically, it was a really cool race, and the Audi worked pretty well. We had a pretty good setup for like long race distance. So I guess,
But that's the cool thing with something like that. I mean, you got two strong drivers, two whatever, but it's just consistent lap times. Because I mean, I said that during qualifying, you got in there, slammed a 58, and then went and had a coffee. I mean, that shows you're confident with the setup and knows the track well. So we're chatting to you because you should have been first. I mean, okay, then maybe should have been second. You're in 7th where you shouldn't have been. But geez, what a dominant display again. Well done, Jordan.
Jordan, if I can just, before you go, if I can just say that, we've seen this in motorsport before where guys have a sequence of things go wrong. Guys with clear talent and ability, guys that would have been dominating otherwise. And I think you're just going to shake those things off and there's going to be a phase where your domination will shine, my friend. I think that's coming soon, man.
Hopefully. I mean, I think, and until that happens, I'll wait for that day.
Hey, you won this weekend. You won the 10 hours, so it's not all bad.
Exactly.
It's almost like I have bad luck in the South African servers. Like when I race in the South African servers, I'm okay, So I don't know.
Anyway,
Jordan,
well done.
Thanks for coming to say hi. Anyways, that was Jordan Shedit. Unfortunately, getting knocked down of the standings all the way down to 7th position, I think it is. And then, of course, the person that then took first place, but deservedly wins the championship, Zahir Issa in the mobile Porsche. A fantastic performance as always, but it's the consistency that counted. Zahir, they said that you needed to finish 15th and Bash needed to finish first. There were all these numbers flying around. You just went out there and sealed the deal in the mobile Porsche. How was that?
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm glad to hear some emotion, dude. I'm glad to hear some emotion.
I wasn't sure about the numbers or anything, so I just thought I'd try to win the race.
Yeah, but listen, forget the numbers. Just talk me through those burnouts at the end. That was amazing. I love that the most. Hey.
Yeah, I've been planning that for a while. So the last couple of weeks, okay, I need the traction control off, this off, and I just went for it.
Oh, the best part with the other guys coming across line going, whoa, what's going on here? The guys were diving left and right. But listen, I mean, we spoke about it. It's epic. I mean, Jordan, obviously, really, really quick, and you were there and thereabouts. Great battle to watch unfold during qualifying. It was so close. But it really is cool to go and wrap up the championship with a win. I mean, this isn't lucky. This is deserved. You've been a masterclass. And it's a tough track, this, man. To keep it focused for 50 minutes around Suzuka ain't easy. You must be super stoked with that result.
Yeah, of course. Coming into the championship, you take a look at all the tracks and what's on the calendar. So you know which tracks you're going to be strong at, which tracks you're going to be on the back foot. So I knew I had to get the job done early on because these last few tracks would not suit the Porsche. So obviously, with my team, Odin Racing, thanks to you guys, early on we put in a lot of work and I got the points lead, and I got like the cushion, that
Yeah.
take it easy
or do some work if you needed to.
Yeah, but obviously I wanted to win the race. I wanted to win that race, so I was actually surprised because I had to save tires like crazy because the track was so hot, and I was kind of keeping Jordan within 3 seconds, and I saw puffs of dust here and there, so I knew he was pushing limits. So I carried on. I kept my foot in it, and I knew at this track there's a bug that gives you a double warning if you go off once. So I stayed away from all that stuff, and it looks like he got nailed. So
yeah, he said it was on the exit of Spoon actually. So I mean, because for me it's such a tricky. It's one of the most technical corners I think on the circuit. Yeah, obviously the snake section as well, but it's a really tricky corner to get right because the drive down that straight heading to 130R is so crucial. And he said that's where he ran wide once and just got hit to double. So yeah, I mean those are irritating little things, but you were there and kept him honest the whole time too, because we had a couple of shots during the race where we could see him, and there you are, and he knows you there because he's going to see you in the mirrors the whole time, and that is crucial because there's always pressure. He could never relax.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew within that 3 seconds he was always watching. So
yeah,
and I knew if he's pushing limits, I'll say carry on pushing. And let's see what happens.
Well done, man. If that was part of your strategy, I mean, that is really high level strategizing on top of all the other things that you need to be taken care of on a race day.
Well, if you don't have outright pace, then you gotta use other tools.
Well, there's something else I'd like to bring up because you've timed the victory of the championship at the perfect time where you're allowed to buy alcohol. Alcohol's back. So you can spray champagne, you can go crazy in the house on a Sunday night. Well done. I mean, it would have been crap to win a championship and you're drinking a Heineken Zero.
Well, I don't drink, so I'm. You know what I mean? I could spray the champagne, but I won't be.
Yeah. Virtually champagne spray the rose water. I don't care. You've actually celebrate tonight, seriously, because that's amazing.
It's been a marathon
series,
marathon championship, and there's a lot to take into account. So to finish first, second was. I mean, I never expected that, and it's going to take a while to sink in, I think.
We started with 100 of the top sim races in the country, and I mean, you finished first.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, it's flipping awesome.
That's insane. That is unbelievable, my friend. That is unbelievable. Well done. Really take it in. Yes. Drink it in, bro. Drink it in. You deserve it.
Thank you.
And you know what you're going to do? I mean, we actually spoke about it. That's what I dig about you is you're not sitting there going, I can just sit back. Like in qualifying, I still thought you could just chill. You don't need to do much. But you want to win. That you're a winner. That's your attitude. So I know your attitude now is going to be Spa. I want to win this thing. I'm the champion. I'm going to show those. Whereas a lot of other guys sit back and say, "Oh, let's manage things." That's not how you are, and that's why you win championships. You've got to have dogfight. You got to.
Yeah, I don't want to disappoint you, but we'll see in Spa now that I have dropped it. Guys that put races on the weekends. My poor kids have not been getting the time they deserve. So maybe I might. A bit more time.
You know how Marius doesn't like it when guys don't show up, eh? So
sorry, I'm not like a full-time racer. I've also got family and work and stuff, so it's about a balance. And I'm pretty glad I won this championship. All jokes aside, looking forward to the next one and the next one and the next one. I want to be there.
We will see you there. Well, folks, that was your champion. Zaire Essa wins the 2020 Pro Series in the Mobile One Porsche. Wow, what a race. I'm still a little bit shook from what happened early on. We're going to go deliberate who our drivers of the day are off the air, probably. I've got a couple of suggestions. But I think we're going to wrap it up soon. Marius, any final words from you?
Yeah, I know Zaire might not drink, but I'm going to spray myself full of beer because that was just an epic race. And, how fast the 50 minutes flew by because there were so many battles throughout, which was amazing. But my goodness, I mean, that last 3 corners, everything was just turned upside down. I mean, I picked up the drive-through and going, this is what's happening. I mean, this is awesome. And I mean, for guys that might be watching for the first time, man, this is racing. This is motivating at the highest. Those oaks put on a show for us today. And I'm super stoked with that. And hey, look there, next round in Spa. Hey, talk about a track. I mean, what a way to start wrapping up the season. Well done to Zaire. I mean, he's been a masterclass. But I mean, it's not over. You look at the points there. Obviously, massive disappointment for Bruno Cadile. Last ground, he was 3 points behind. That little spin cost him big time because I think he might have actually been ahead of Morgan going into round 11. Anyway, that's still a battle to decide who's going to finish in third place. But, I mean, Bash is basically done in second. No one can touch him. So first and second is wrapped up. Everything to play for third position. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, folks, the next round is at Spa, and after that, we're going into the season finale. But the season's already wrapped up with your winner, Zahir Essa. Remember that name, folks, because I think we're going to see him around often. That is it from us here at the ATK Pro Series. What a day of racing it's been. The ATK Pro Series delivered again. And we'll see you guys for the next round at Spa.